Double how are you all doing today? Skacker here, and welcome back to a new video. Welcome back to chapter 4 of Black Beacon. And I was so excited since last night I played it. That was the third chapter. And right now I really want to know more. And it's the next day. I finally did my dailies and weeklies in my other games because today is Monday. For you, probably like it's going to be like 2 days later or something. So it's gonna be a different time thing. I was really annoyed with HSR's Apocalyptic Shadow because there was some bullshit there. Let's not talk about that here. Let me just enjoy this. I want to know what's gonna happen next in the story. And we survived Babel Tower, the tower collapsing. And now, let's see who this Xing is. Because she's going to be in the second half of Dispatch's banner. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Oh, lineup is already... Ah, yeah, there she is. Yeah, she looks really, really cool. I love her hairstyle. This is nice, this is nice. Let's go. The turquoise water, mountains green embrace, pines and snow, a mesmerizing grace. Lotus blooms adorned with elegance and light, a scene of beauty, nature's exquisite delight.
How weird. Despite being closer to the sun, why is it colder here?
Because Tianchi Lake is surrounded by snowy mountains.
In front of two figures, the vast expanse of water reflects the distant snowy peaks, along with nearby buildings.
The days here appear as lengthy as those beneath Mount Tianshi. Otherwise, one might mistake the prolonged summer in this place for a harsh winter.
If it were indeed winter, the Tianchi Lake would be frozen, the Grandier River obstructed, and the Hans covered in ice. In that case, ascending Mount Tianchi would be impossible.
Shh. Keep your voice down. If your fellow clanspeople hear this, they might goad you into challenging me again during the winter.
Don't fret. No one from my clan would dare defy me. Speaking of which, why would a mere historian have the authority to tell you what to do?
A historian? Did I forget something again?
You'll have to figure it out on your own. I met a historian on my way here, and he employed me to urge you to think of a name.
Oh, looks like I've forgotten everything about it. What is the name about?
He said it was kind of a national title. Your language can be quite troublesome.
Ah, I remember now. It was indeed an oversight on my part.
I'm surprised when he told me he simply couldn't start recording anything without that name. What exactly is that name about?
It's about everything. It's about you, me, your clan, my clan, the greater clan formed by our future generations, and the heavens, the earth, the mountains, the rivers, everything that traverses the seasons and is witnessed by the sun and the moon. In short, it's a name that encompasses everything we're seeing now.
Wow, that's quite a serious name. So, have you come up with it yet?
Yes, it shall be Xia, meaning summer. May this vast land forever flourish in greenery.
I don't know what that says, honestly. July 15th, year 57 of the world calendar. CangLin City, Jiangyun region, Xi'an. I hope I did not mispronounce any of that, so I'm trying, okay? CangLin City meaning the granary serves as the largest agricultural production base in Xi'an. The air is teeming with dragonflies and butterflies fluttering amongst the blooming flowers during the extended summer. The Grandeur River stretches for thousands of miles, nourishing all living things in the Jiangyin region.
Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture. This is Singh from the Bureau of Oversight and Integrity. I'm currently conducting my daily inspections at Hydrological Observatory A38 in the main of the Grandeur River. I'll be sending the hydrological and meteorological data. Please analyze the data and deliver the report to the municipal government.
Understood. Please provide an adequate number of samples for analysis and comparison.
Sure. I'll personally oversee the operation.
Seeing Xing and the communication, the operator besides her strikes up a friendly chat.
I heard that once this quarter's inspections are completed, you'll be taking a whole month off, Secretary Ching?
Usually Ching would not entertain casual chit-chat at work, but since her tasks are almost complete, she answers in an unusual gentle tone.
Yeah, the work here is finally about to end, so I plan to take some time off and enjoy the Harvest Festival in September as a civilian.
Thank you for your hard work. By the way, here's a little gift for you.
What's this?
Flower.
I snatched this yellow iris by the riverside. It's been blooming for more than a week without showing any signs of wilting, and its fragrance is intense. Hopefully, it will chase away some of your fatigue.
Xing gently smells the fragrance of the petals, revealing a rare smile. However, as she examines the flower in her hand, her smile gradually fades.
Did you just say you picked this flower by the river?
Yeah, why? What's up?
Xing looks towards the river outside the observatory. A flock of cormorants is perched on the riverside, packed tightly together and converging into a small cluster on the bank. The surface of the river is glowing with a bit of greenish color. Upon closer inspection, it is actually a huge number of water striders clustered together, their wings reflecting a metallic sheen.
There are too many water striders out there.
Is something wrong?
The operator asks, puzzled by Xing's silence. Xing takes another look at the flower in her hand and adjusts her glasses. In the center of the yellowish stamen, there is a slight lime green sheen that cannot be perceived by ordinary people.
I'll have to go to the riverside and see what's happening there.
Ooh, new area! Finally outside of that damn tower, bro. I was starting to feel claustrophobic, man. Okay, it's the outside world. That is an outside world.
The river is just up ahead. Go there and take a look. I hope I was mistaken.
Ooh. Yeah, she looks nice. Very, very nice. Me like it.
Isn't that Secretary Ching?
Can I go here?
I should head to the riverbank and take a closer look.
What does this dude want? Hello.
Saw you from afar and wondered if it was you. Are you here for an inspection today?
Yeah? What are you doing here?
Just fishing, but I haven't caught anything all morning. It's weird. The fish aren't biting lately.
By the way, there are so many ospreys here, so naturally there should be a lot of fish around.
Yeah, maybe they're the ones scaring away my fish. And there are so many insects too, but you know what? Those mosquitoes don't even seem to bite people anymore. Sorry for the rambling. Don't forget about the calligraphy assembly at the square tonight. My old man is looking forward to meeting you there.
I'll see if I have time for that.
Hello.
Lately, the ospreys near the river haven't been in a good mood. In the past, only a few hungry ospreys would come close to humans and beg for food, or snatch food from tourists. But recently, they've been swarming into the city, and it doesn't seem to be for food. Even when humans try to feed them, they don't show much interest. If it's not about food, then what are they after? Maybe some wild instincts kicking in or something? I'm no bird expert, just throwing ideas out there.
Something ain't right, alright? Yeah, something is not right. Can I go this way? No? Oh, limited exploration. Ah well, gotta live with it, yeah? Yeah.
Huh?
Ooh, let's see your
What's with all
gameplay.
these insects?
Whoa! Okay. Woo, that spin is so cool, bro. Holy. Golly. Xing calmly unsheathes her blade after swatting down the last insect in the air, but her eyebrows remain furrowed because of the weird sensation from her fingertips.
Feels like my blade just hit an iron block.
The remains of an insect stick to the base of the street lamp from her swipe just now. Seeing the deep gouge on the lamp, Xing lets out a deep sigh.
Used too much force. I can't control my strength when my mind is in turmoil.
What Xing has struck is not just a streetlight, but a part of CangLin City's integrated infrastructure. The greening and irrigation system that runs parallel to the lighting system. Similar to other infrastructure facilities in CangLin City, the system operates under the centralized agricultural production system, providing sprinkler irrigation to the surrounding vegetation at regular intervals. Okay. Once the granary is seeded, the system automatically takes care of the vegetation throughout its growth cycle, eliminating the need for human labor. Each unit costs a fortune, and if it really got damaged, Xing will have to pay a month's salary to cover its repairs.
But seriously, why are there so many insects here? And what's with those clustered birds? Let's go over and take a look. Why is this osprey so aggressive?
Oh, wow, we're fighting the bird. Bruh. Okay.
What's happening to these ospreys? Their feathers are blue, and their claws and beak are sharp and hard. Are they infected with some kind of contagious disease? I must hurry back to Weisha and report the unusual situation here. The subtle changes in the flower's appearance, the unusual clustering behavior, and those mutant insects and ospreys. That's not my imagination. No doubt this is caused by an anomaly.
She takes off her glasses and wrinkles her nose.
Again, my precious vacation is going down the drain. Instead, I'm looking at overtime.
Yeah, sorry about that. Emergency meeting. 1 week later. CangLin Municipal Government, the center of CangLin City.
In light of the current situation, the chief executive has personally gone to Jiangyan Pavilion to report to his superiors. During his absence, the Bureau of Oversight and Integrity will be responsible for city management. Therefore, I'll be presiding over this meeting, and I ask for your cooperation as always. First of all, I'd like to ask for a briefing on the progress of our deployment since our last meeting. Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture, what's the current status of the crops?
The Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture, as its name implies, is a department in charge of agricultural production. Peng Ling, the young director of the Bureau, holds up his glasses.
To be frank, it's getting worse. According to our calculations, all types of crops should have started to mature long ago. However, the centralized agricultural system detects that wheat, sorghum, rice, and other ration crops remain stagnant in their growth phase, without any signs of sprouting ears. Oilseed crops such as soybeans, peanuts, and flax haven't yet produced seeds for oil extraction. Fruit trees such as apples, pears, and peaches experience successful pollination during the flowering period, but they haven't progressed beyond the end of that phase. All crops have stopped developing fruits, as if the growth process has come to a standstill. In addition, the drones managed by the centralized agricultural system have observed new symptoms on the crops.
What symptoms?
I've brought some photos here. Please take a look at them. As you can see, many crops are exhibiting an unusual greenish color on their surface. This color is not attributable to natural chlorophyll, but resembles a metallic rather than a biological coloration. On affected plants, this greenish tint behaves akin to a rust disease, spreading towards the unaffected parts of the plant.
Could this be a new plant pathogen?
That was our initial suspicion. However, it's not only the crops, but also some animals residing in the fields that are displaying these symptoms.
Oh, what the hell? Is it like a disease?
While we have dealt with zoonotic diseases before, this is the first time we have encountered a plant-animal disease. The Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture currently lacks the means to identify cross-species diseases. So we collected samples and sent them to the Bureau of Health and Welfare for virus testing, but we haven't received any results yet.
Bureau of Health and Welfare, have you discovered anything yet?
The Bureau of Health and Welfare is in charge of medical and public health. At this point, its director is suffering from a cold sweat.
Well, just as Director Feng said, diseases affecting both plants and animals are exceptionally rare, and we need more time.
So, no results yet?
There will be results. We just need a little bit more time.
No progress in virus testing. Thank you for the report. Next question. Bureau of Treasury and Trade. How much do you predict our agricultural production will drop this year?
The director of the Bureau of Treasury and Trade, responsible for finance-related matters, is visibly perspiring.
This issue is quite complicated, Secretary Ting. Since we are not directly involved in agricultural production, we are not aware of the details.
Please stay on topic.
Well, we can only give economic forecasts after the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture provides reports on crop maturity and acreage. However, they haven't provided such reports this year.
Ching's tone begins to reflect a hint of annoyance.
Now is not the time to pass the buck. I'm not blaming you. I need to understand the gravity of the situation facing CangLin City. I believe I've made myself clear. Please provide a concise answer.
Based on the information shared by Director Feng, we will have to make estimations based on the worst-case scenario. This year, our agricultural production will be only 3% to 7% of prior year's levels.
I understand. CangLin City plays a crucial role in Xian's agricultural production, and if we don't have a harvest, it will create a crisis for all of Xian. Director Feng, could you please provide an update on our grain reserves?
Our current reserves are enough to feed the people of Xian for 9 months. Together with the reserves in the rest of the country, we can sustain ourselves for 2 years without a harvest.
Bureau of Roads and Travel, what's the status of our transportation capacity?
Mobilization is not an overnight process. It involves multiple parties and numerous challenges.
What specific challenges are you talking about? Bring them up and we'll work together to address them.
First, there is a serious shortage of professional drivers.
Then why don't you communicate with the Bureau of Employment and Social Support?
We lack the funds to purchase enough vehicles for transportation.
That falls under the responsibility of the Bureau of Treasury and Trade. Go ask for additional funds from them.
But the annual budget is set at the beginning of every year. Even if I make a request, it'll likely be rejected, right?
So, in other words, you haven't even asked the Bureau of Treasury and Trade for additional funds.
No, that's not the case. According to regulations, the budget is approved at the beginning of each year, and the allocation.
Allow me to remind you, Director. I work in the Bureau of Oversight and Integrity, and I know the rules and regulations better than you do. Bureau of Treasury and Trade, has the Bureau of Roads and Travel ever informed you about the lack of funds?
No.
No, never. Why didn't you mention it, Director?
We will submit a formal application after the meeting.
Are there any other difficulties?
We haven't encountered such a large-scale demand for transportation capacity in many years. It requires coordination of water, air, road, and rail transportation. And we're still trying to figure out how to manage this.
Don't you have an emergency plan in place?
You know, the situation is too rare for us to have anticipated.
You may not have an emergency plan for total crop failure, but you should have a plan for a potential war, right? Or you don't have a plan for that either.
But we've been living in peace for decades.
During our last meeting, I emphasized that we must prepare for the worst. So, what exactly have you prepared for this meeting? Nothing at all? Let me ask you some questions. How many trucks do we have? How many freight trains? And how many cargo planes and ships? What is the capacity of each transportation method? How many of these vehicles can be deployed within 24 hours, within 7 days, and within a month? How many of these vehicles are equipped with refrigeration and insulation devices for transporting grain? For the vehicles without these capabilities, how long would it take to install them? Do we have enough drivers for all these vehicles? Do we have a plan in place for scheduling and providing financial subsidies for the drivers?
Well, we have limited manpower and capabilities. I apologize for our shortcomings.
My patience is wearing thin. The Bureau of Roads and Travel has shown laziness, cowardice, short-sightedness, and incompetence. Your laziness has delayed progress. Your cowardice has hindered collaboration with other departments. Your short-sightedness has prevented proper planning. And your incompetence gave you the audacity to deceive me. Do you think you can just get away with, we have limited manpower and capabilities? Your excuse holds no weight. The Bureau of Oversight and Integrity will submit an official report to the government, demanding accountability from the Bureau of Roads and Travel for impeding grain transportation. Bureau of Health and Welfare, your progress has been disappointingly slow. And Bureau of Treasury and Trade, you failed to fulfill your duties. Consider this a warning.
Dude, she's lashing out so hard on them, but she's not wrong. Honestly, she's not wrong. She's trying to protect the city, protect the people, and make everything work as it should. Because you cannot be too sure on what's gonna work and what's not gonna work, and what's gonna go right and what's gonna go wrong. You have to have extra plans for these things, because you're managing a whole goddamn city or country, or I don't know what exactly is this province.
Director Feng, please say something to calm Secretary Ting down. We are being scolded all because of you.
CangLin lowers his head at addressing Xing.
Secretary Singh, our department bears the primary responsibility. We are to blame for the production issues. After all, other departments are assisting us in addressing the issue, and the purpose of this meeting is to find a solution as soon as possible. Let's all take a moment to calm down, for what they said holds truth. This dire situation is unprecedented and requires cooperation across departments and regions. We may even need to take guidance from the Well-Being Office in the future. You have any suggestions for the current situation?
Indeed. Now is not the time to blame anyone. I apologize. I got a bit carried away. Everything has a cause, and there are no such things as mysterious catastrophes. Therefore, I request all departments to assist in investigating the causes behind the unproductive crops. I need reports on meteorological and hydrological monitoring, analysis of soil and bedrock composition, data on the density and size of various ecological populations, as well as information on crop growth and the results of genetic sequencing. The cause must be somewhere within this data. Meanwhile, we must be prepared to deliver reserve grain to the other regions and be ready to take immediate action upon receiving orders from the Well-Being Office. Director Feng, based on the minimum requirements to ensure rations, how much reserve grain will we need to deliver once our total crop failure is confirmed?
I can't provide an exact figure at the moment, but based on my experience, a minimum of 40 million tons for the fall and winter seasons will be required.
Then let's use that number. 40 million tons will be the minimum required. Remember, numbers do not negotiate or compromise. So I hope everyone will do their best. No, I expect everyone to do their best.
Damn. She gave it to them straight up. Holy, that was so cool, man. She's so cool, bro. Oh my god, bro. Oh, wow. She's a perfectionist, all right?
It lines up with our earlier assessment. This change is caused by anomalies. I lost my temper. After all, the staff at the CangLin municipal government didn't have the means to solve the problem themselves. They haven't figured out what's really happening. Anger can cloud judgment. Looks like I still need to work on myself. After sorting this out, I'll practice calligraphy and reflect on myself. I've got to get back and... Huh? Why are there so many people gathered at the government?
Did we arrive? Okay, let's go. Oh, she's the water type.
Lately, the animals at the third breeding center have been losing their appetites. Is something wrong with the breeding environment?
Which animals are affected the most? Pigs, cows, or sheep?
All of them. That's why we suspect something might be wrong at the farm itself.
We're experiencing similar issues at the 7th breeding center.
It's probably going to be the water.
The hens won't lay eggs. They better do a thorough examination.
Looks like the water is going to be the source of this issue.
You're saying there are issues with the irrigation area in region I-362? That's on the north side, right?
Yeah, we grow rice there. According to the growth cycle, it should be sprouting ears by now. But this year, it seems to be growing unusually slow. Are crops in your area affected too?
Yeah, same here. I oversee the irrigation area in region C29, and we're facing the same problems. That's why I wanted to check if there have been any climate changes this year.
Didn't expect so many people here today. Oh, isn't that Secretary Chin?
What can I do for you?
Oh, nothing much. Just want to ask if this year's Harvest Festival is still happening. The Bureau of Culture and Tourism hasn't started their usual promotions like they normally do by this time. Wondering if there are any changes. I'm planning to grab some stuff for the festival and make a profit. Just hope nothing major messes up my plan, you know?
I guess your plans are, well, not gonna go through. Probably not gonna have the festival this year.
The sprinkler system in this block has been activated.
Can't talk to you?
Whoa! Go away! Don't break my camera!
Well then, you're quite aggressive, yeah?
Stealth. Coward.
Failing to strike its target, the predatory bird spread its wings and disappears into the clouds.
Thanks a bunch. Thought I'd lose my scalp or, worse, my expensive lens. If anything happened to either, it would be a real pain in the wallet. It's hard to capture photos of such predatory birds in the city, so I got a bit too close.
Is what just happened a common occurrence?
Of course not. Ospreys in these parts are a rare sight, and they usually take off when people get too close. They rarely leave the wetlands because the city doesn't offer much prey for them. Plus, most of the ospreys around CangLin City are used to humans. And seriously, we're way bigger than them, so I don't get why they attacked me.
Yeah, this is not normal, alright? They become aggressive, agitated. You can say the thing, this on the ground thingy, makes them go berserk or some shit. Yeah, look at their eyes. Yeah.
Those birds are starting to cause a commotion.
Quite good at AoE, honestly. Now I can't wait to get there. Okay.
These ospreys always gather around the sprinklers.
I wonder if the sprinklers make certain noises that attract birds.
I don't think that's the case. Yeah, the sprinklers have been activated. Someone is really doing this, man.
They dare to cause trouble in front of a Weisha member? Great. Now I can finally release all the pent-up frustration from that silly meeting.
Damn, girl.
Rushing horses and fire. Huh? Why is the skin of these animals so tough? These animals keep getting close to the sprinklers. Perhaps I should manually shut them down. Those animals are gathering near these sprinklers. They seem to be attracted to the water from these sprinklers. Moreover, they appeared more aggressive after drinking the water.
Yeah, it's like it's addictive. Also makes them go cuckoo berserk.
I must report this discovery to my peers immediately.
Okay. Undercurrents.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Hey, Shane. Finished the meeting at the government?
Yeah, all the directors had a brief discussion and mapped out the current situation.
Shane glances at the main seat in the hall.
Is Master Yuan Suen here?
No, unfortunately. Master Yuan Xuan left.
Did he go to Tsingyu City?
Yes. Our early intelligence indicated that the anomaly originated there. As for why the anomaly spread to CangLin City, we don't have any clues yet.
Since Master Yuan Suen went there personally, the situation must be dire.
I don't have access to the details, but judging from the members Master Yuan Xuan took with him, the situation is indeed worrisome. I heard that Tsingyu City is currently isolated from the outside world. Such a renowned city was suddenly isolated from the rest of the world. Our public media has been carefully blocking the information to prevent suspicion and panic among the common people. Not to mention that Master Yuan Xuan has taken a great number of our elite members.
How many people do we have here?
Basically the ones you're seeing now. Before Master Yuan Xuan left, he left the matter of CangLin City in your hands. We're at your disposal now.
I see. Thank you all for placing your trust in me. I'll share the information with everyone here. Firstly, our judgment was correct. The total crop failure is indeed caused by the anomaly. Secondly, we need further investigation to figure out the symptoms of the plants and animals. The government has entrusted the Bureau of Health and Welfare with the task, but honestly, they're hardly reliable. Here's the image and pathology data I got from the Bureau.
I'll do the imaging analysis.
I will conduct a pathology analysis.
The Bureau of Treasury and Trade will face significant financial challenges this year. We should be prepared for drastic market fluctuations.
I've been monitoring the market and economic indicators.
If you spot anything unusual, report to me immediately. Next, the Bureau of Roads and Travel has been slow on progress, and I've already reprimanded them. However, it'll take some time for them to actually do something.
We can mobilize transportation capacities from other regions through our channels.
Let's hold off on that for now. It's a task that falls within the capabilities of the CangLin municipal government, and we mustn't encourage their laziness or interfere too much with everyday society. However, we should still make preparations, and if the Bureau of Roads and Travel fails to fulfill their responsibilities, we will need to take action. Lastly, the symptoms indicate the possibility of a cross-species disease. If humans can also be infected, the situation will be much more severe than just a food shortage.
I'm monitoring all major hospitals. If I come across any patients with similar symptoms, I will report to you immediately.
Monitoring hospitals alone won't be enough. Once patients start arriving at hospitals, it means the infection has already spread. We need an emergency plan for a potential pandemic.
At what scale should we prepare?
The worst-case scenario? Assume that all of CangLin City is affected. By the way, have we received any communication from the Emeon with whom we lost contact 2 days ago? The information in their central database might help us trace the origin of this anomaly.
No, we haven't received any response from them. Their communication channel has been silent for 3 days. This is unprecedented. We have estimated the worst-case scenario. The Tower of Babel has been destroyed due to an event beyond Emeon's capabilities, and the central database won't be able to provide any support during this crisis. Before we lost contact, John 10 received a message from them and went to Obed to investigate. We should expect to hear from her in the next few days.
When it rains, it pours. By the way, has Scene come back? It's been a while since I sent her out. I believe she has completed her task.
Ooh, this girl. That scene. Yeah. I still didn't get her. She's a 4-star and still didn't get her. Goddamn, bro. She loves spears, I guess? Or is that a golden apple? Thousands of miles of fertile farmland. The fertile plains, a vast stretch of land nourished by the Grandeur River, has prospered since ancient times. It is renowned for its abundant resources. Currently, all fields in the fertile plains, I can't read that, encircling CangLin City are managed under the city's centralized agriculture production system. Its agriculture output alone is sufficient to sustain a significant portion of the Xi'an population. During the peak of summer, the grass grows vigorously, and as a gentle breeze sweeps through, waves of seedlings and leaves wash across fields. In the farm,
they told me to find out where the mutation came from, but they didn't give me any details.
In the farm traversed fields, a girl dressed in attire that appeals out of place amidst her surrounding. steps onto the land.
Am I supposed to search every nook and cranny of this place?
No, you have that kind of accent. Nice. Country girl. Okay. The girl grumbles as she munches on the pier. Yeah, it was a pier. Casually strolling along the road. Even though she is clearly eating an apple. Wait, is it an apple or a pear? She tears into each bite as if she is devouring meat, quickly leaving only the core.
Now I'm really ticked off. She made me follow those ridiculous rules, and now I'm running errands for her. Oh, just you wait, Ching. When I get back, I'll definitely demand a hearty meal.
The girl's teeth scrape off the last bit of pulp as she instinctively prepares to spit out the seeds. She hesitates for a moment.
Ching said not to litter. But then again, our biology teacher said that the seeds and core can naturally decompose in nature. So if I just toss the core, is it littering or fertilizing the field? Whose advice should I follow now? Ah, forget it. There's no surveillance here. No one's watching anyway.
She makes up her mind, her tongue pressed against the seed, ready to flick it away. Oh boy. Damn, bro. Wait, let me read. Right at that moment, a lizard darts out of the grass. That was funny. Brushes past her feet and causes her to stumble. The seed, half in and half out of her mouth, slips down her throat. Bro, she ate the seed. She pounds her chest for several seconds, gasping for breath before finally swallowing the seed caught in her throat. Nervously, she wipes the saliva from the corner of her mouth.
You stupid lizard!
She invents her frustration in the direction the lizard disappeared. But what she sees in front of her silences her complaints. Despite it being late July, with autumn just around the corner, there is no hint of golden hues in the fields. The lush, vibrant green somehow pricks her heart.
Now this is a serious problem. If we can't resolve it before autumn arrives, Xi'an will face a severe crop failure. In that case, the food supply of Xi'an will be in trouble. Even if we manage to survive this year with our reserves, what will we rely on next year? We must not allow a recurrence of the devastating famine that struck the western region 15 years ago. Everyone here, please, uncover the truth and lift the crisis before the end of summer.
She purses her lips.
All right, enough talking. It's time to get to work.
Let's go. Work time.
Let's start investigating the nearest module, in that 2 o'clock direction.
Alright. Well, I can explore here. Can I? I think it's limited. I don't think I can go further than this. Yep, this is as far as I can go. What is this? Okay, this is way too dangerous. Okay. Okay. Movement speed reduced. Oh shit, something like this could happen. Alright, good to know. I guess water slows you down. Okay. Nothing to see here. I can't even go there. Alright. There's something there. Let's see. In the center of the field stands the most advanced agriculture sprinkler system in CangLin. Rows upon rows of sprinklers pour water and fertilize into the soil, while swarms of drones buzz around, monitoring pests and crops diseases. Sensors scattered throughout the field provide real-time data to CangLin. The centralized agriculture production system handles all the complicated decisions making. It knows the growth status of every single crop in the area, when they will sprout, when they will ripe, and when they will wither. The land is divided up with waterways and sprinklers, ensuring each leaf gets its fair share of sunlight and nutrition. Similar to other infrastructure facilities in CangLin City, these devices operate under the centralized agricultural production system, providing sprinkler irrigation to the surrounding vegetation at regular intervals. Currently, the sprinklers in this field are turned off and the land is dry, perhaps because the irrigation cycle has not started yet.
Nothing seems out of the ordinary here. Let's look elsewhere.
Physical motion up ahead. Yeah, okay. First, we do this. Oh boy.
Lightning speed!
Yeah, I'm done playing around with you. Die. I wanted to stay as canon as possible, but yeah, no, it's taking too long. The device deactivated. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, okay. We don't need no blues, right? Yeah, I don't think we need any blues. If we do this... Oh, wait, we actually do need a blue. Right. There we go. Okay, that was not that bad.
Why are there so many farm animals gathered in this place? Dispersed in the storm of spears!
Okay. The land here is wet and there is droplets of water on the green leaves. It is clear that this farmland has just been irrigated. The sharp leaves of the barnyard grasses leave numerous scratches on careless Sheen calves. Sheen bends down to touch in the stems of the plants when she realizes they are unusually hard to plant for plants.
Ouch! That hurts! Even if we ignore the abnormal behavior of the livestock, what's wrong with these plants? Let's head to the hydroponic area.
Okay.
This looks bad. So many oxen and water lizards are gathering here. This is not a pastoral area, but many farm animals have gathered here. They show unusual interest in the drinking water. This is strange. Looks like I need to do some serious investigating here.
Okay. The water had an eerie greenish color to it, akin to the aftermath of a cyanobacteria outbreak. However, there is no algae on the surface, nor is there a fishy smell. Sheen bends down and dips her fingertips into the water and sticks out the tip of her tongue.
Better not. Sing warned me about not tasting unknown stuff.
Oh, what the hell? Tasted it?
People in charge of this area. Perhaps it'd be quicker just to ask them.
Oh my god, you're really gonna taste it?
Lightning speed!
Die. What are you doing? Okay. Hello? Okay. I had to stand on the golden Sakura.
Hey, is that a residence? Finally! The person in charge of this place must be there. I should go check with them. But before that, Looks like I'll have to help the owner teach these unruly animals a lesson.
Haven't you had enough of this nonsense? Stop right now!
Ooh, AoE. Nice.
What? Another bunch of them? Get rid of them quickly!
Oh,
I don't want to end up being blamed for the havoc they wreak! Retaliate!
The fire is burning.
Oh boy. She knocks on the last ox and shakes her hands.
These oxen are totally mutated. Were they really meant for plowing the land? Anyway, their horns and hooves look like metal crystals, and their bodies have undergone significant changes. They only seem to gather around when the sprinklers are on, as if they're drawn to the water itself.
Shin's thoughts are interrupted by a voice.
Hey, who's causing all that ruckus outside?
An old man steps out of the house. His tone softens when he sees Shin.
Oh, what are you doing in a place like this, little girl?
I'm here to check out this field.
The old man scrutinizes Shin for a moment.
Oh, so the government sent you here, and you took down all those oxen by yourself?
Shin hesitates for a moment, actually. She was sent here by Weishi, but regular people don't even know about its existence. For her, it is probably best to go along with the old man's words and see what it leads.
Yeah, you could say that. By the way, just so you know, your oxen attacked me first, and I knocked them out. I didn't kill them or anything.
The old man sighs and examines the unconscious oxen.
I know. Something's been off with them lately. Look at their skin, all turned green. Must be some kind of disease. It's really bad, you know.
So, he can't see the greenish crystals on those oxen. He seems like an ordinary person. Things haven't been too peaceful around here lately, so an old man like you should just stay home.
I'd love to, but I'm in charge of this field. How am I supposed to just stay home?
Then he changed topic.
You've done a great job, to be honest. Dealing with all those beasts by yourself must be exhausting, right? Why don't you come to my place and have lunch?
I feel I have a bad feeling. Shin's eyes light up.
Oh, you've prepared lunch? Then let's go!
Soon, hot food is placed on the table.
Come, give it a try. It might not be fancy, but all the ingredients were grown here, fresh and good for you.
It's so tasty.
This is nice. Shin eagerly grabs a rice bowl and digs in. The old man gives her a warm smile.
Take your time and don't gobble it all up like that, little girl. I may not be wealthy, but you can eat as much as you want. I can tell you're not from the CangLin region. Where's your hometown?
Shin swallows the grilled chicken before replying to the old man's question.
I was born in the western region. How'd you figure that out, old man?
After saying that, she stuffs another spoonful of rice into her mouth.
As I thought. You're indeed from the western region.
The old man's gaze turns gloomy.
It's been many years since there was a famine in CangLin region, but in the western region, I saw many kids starving 15 years ago. People who have experienced famine and those who haven't, they eat differently. Starvation leaves a memory that seeps into your very bones. Even when you have enough food in later days, starvation sticks with you for the rest of your life and adds its flavor to every grain of rice you chew and every meal thereafter. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that bring back bad memories? Judging by your age, you must have been born during that great famine.
Shin keeps her head down, her expression hidden behind the large bowl.
Yeah.
After gobbling down the last mouthful of rice, Shin finally raises her head again and responds to the old man with seriousness.
You don't need to be sorry, old man. It wasn't your fault.
The old man shakes his head.
I know. But once you've seen a disaster like that, you'll never forget it. I just hope that no one will ever go hungry again in the land of Qian. However, the crops are growing noticeably slower this year, and I'm worried that if this continues, it'll affect the harvest in the fall. We might not even be able to hold the harvest festival.
Since you've been living here, old man, have you noticed anything unusual?
Well, everything is so messed up around here, you might as well ask me what's still normal. But if I were to investigate, I'd start with the Grandeur River. Usually when crops and animals get sick on a large scale, the first thing to suspect is the water source.
Ding, 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 I called it.
After all, the entire sprinkler system in CangLin City uses water from the Grandeur River.
The Grandeur River? Where are my notes? Oh, here they are.
Take your time. I'll go get you some fruit.
Sure enough, the closer the animals are to the water source, the more intense their mutations become. I'm full now, old man. Thanks for treating me. Oh, and don't forget what I said. Just stay home.
Sheen gets up and gathers her belongings and hurried out the door. She's so focused that she failed to notice another person standing right outside. With quick reflexes, she twists her body just in time to avoid colliding with the person. The person walks past her without any interaction. Ooh. As her shoulders touch, Sheen's back tenses. Her instinctual alertness, reminiscent of an animal, sends a shiver down her spine, awakening her long-lost sense of vigilance. Unable to resist, she steals a glance at the person who passed by. It is a tall, gray-haired man dressed in a plain farming uniform, exhibiting an honest and sincere expression. He appears to be an ordinary farmer. Coming to this realization, Shin looks away, relaxes her shoulders, and resumes walking at her normal pace.
Huh? Who's this guy? The old man's son? Or his grandson? Whatever. Not important. I gotta get back and fill in Sang.
The impending storm.
When it rains, it pours. By the way, has Scene come back? It's been a while since I sent her out. I believe she has completed her task.
At that very moment, a fiery figure darts into the hall.
Sang! I'm back!
Calm down, Scene. How many times have I told you not to yell in public? Show some restraint, especially on important occasions.
You start nagging as soon as I walk in the door. Fine, I get it. Aren't you curious about what I found?
Looks like you're pleased with your discoveries.
Of course, I'm the first one back from the investigation. So now you can see who's got the skills and who's slacking off, right?
Shing holds back a smile at the corner of her mouth.
All right, go ahead and spill the beans.
Shing opens her mouth, intending to report what she has discovered. But somehow the only thing that comes to her mind is the meal she ended up having with the farmland administrator. The rest seems to have slipped her mind as she rushed back. Scratches her head, desperately trying to recall the words she heard after that meal.
So I bumped into this old farmer who told me that when crops and animals get sick on a large scale, the first thing to suspect is the water source. So I'm thinking the issue's with the water.
It is as if those words have unleashed a flood of memories.
Oh yeah, the water source. The closer the animals to it, the worse their mutations get. Here are samples of the plants and insects I collected from the river. Look, they're practically bronze now. And let's not forget those livestock. They're obsessed with drinking water, like they're totally addicted.
The first thing to suspect is the water source. A reasonable guess, don't you think?
At that moment, other investigators are returning to the hall as well.
I collected soil samples, and I discovered a linear correlation between soil water saturation and the degree of plant mutation.
I've collected groundwater samples, and they contain an unidentified impurity. The concentration of this impurity is negatively correlated with the distance from the river at the sampling sites.
And I've sampled the mutant plant and animal cells. Through isotopic tracing, I found a nonlinear positive correlation between the impurity in the water and the degree of cellular mutation.
Hey, can you talk like a person? Say something I can understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, everyone. So, the problem does lie in the water source, which confirms our initial suspicions. After all, the most direct connection between Xingyu City and CangLin City is the Grandeur River. In other words, the anomaly affecting Xingyu City has spread to CangLin City downstream through the water of the Grandeur River.
Fancy words aside, they reached the same conclusion as me.
This is how it goes, Scene. Even if it seems obvious, we can't jump to conclusions without solid evidence. Learn from it, all right? You don't understand a word because you haven't learned statistics or chemistry. I'll find time to give you a crash course.
Oh no, more studying? I'd rather stick to running errands for you.
Don't sweat it. We'll consider that once we resolve everything. We don't have time for that with the dire situation right now.
Upon hearing her words, Sheen lets out a sigh of relief.
First and foremost, we must ensure that the people of CangLin City stop drinking water from the Grandeur River. This matter directly affects people's daily lives and requires the intervention of the CangLin municipal government. I'll handle this part. As for the unidentified impurity in the water, it's deeply concerning. Since we're unable to identify it... Oh, by the way, has our friend from Delphi left already?
You mean Logos, right? Not yet.
Logos.
She's interested in our ancient books and has been spending the past few days reading in the storage room.
All right. Prepare 3 water samples and request her immediate return to Delphi. The medical academy in Delphi should be able to figure out the composition of the impurity.
Yes, I'll let her know right away.
Given the current situation, we're supposed to contact Imeon, the head of CAVE, as they're obligated to be informed about the situation here. But unfortunately, our communication channel has been silent for 3 days. I'm afraid we can't rely on the Library of Babel this time.
Hold up a sec, Jing. There's something else.
What's wrong?
Before Master Yuan Xuan left, he gave us another order. No matter what problems happen here in Qian, we don't need to report to Emeon.
Huh? Why is that?
I have no clue. Master Yuan Xuan didn't give us an explanation.
Maybe Master Yuan Xuan has his own reasons. Well, since it's his order, we'll not inform Emeon of the situation here. Besides, we can't get in touch with them even if we wanted to. I'm heading to the government to handle the isolation of the water source.
The hologram dissipates, and the figures of the followers disappear one by one, returning the world before the sower's eyes to normal. An ordinary white wall in a simple house. A pitch black figure enters the room, kneels down on one knee before the sower, and respectfully lowers his head.
Is everything on your end finished, Master?
Yes. Did anything unusual happen during the meeting?
No. All communications were transmitted through our encrypted channel. I've been keeping an eye on the signal transmissions, and there's been no indication of any monitoring or bugs. You seem a bit tired. Do you need a break?
Don't worry. It's just old age catching up with me. But truth be told, I've been feeling tired more often lately. Maybe I don't have much time left. That's why I can't afford to rest at such a crucial moment. Go to the Bureau of Knowledge and Enlightenment and delete the records of the bandwidth usage during the meeting. I doubt the government staff will pay attention to the details, but I can't say the same for Weisha. I don't want to attract any unnecessary attention from Yuan Xuan. Once you're done, come back.
Consider it done. But Master, there's one thing I don't understand. Why would you collaborate with someone as dishonorable as Nemesis?
Oh my god, of course it's Nemesis.
Why do you call them dishonorable? Have you finally figured it out? Are you ready to take Weisha's side?
I have no intention of doing that, Master. Your enemies are my enemies, and I'll take down anyone who dares to stand against you.
What a shame. Honestly, Weisha is quite a decent organization, and it wouldn't be a bad choice if you wanted to work for them. It might even be more promising than running errands for me. My offer still stands. If you no longer wish to work for me, you're free to leave anytime.
How could I ever abandon you, Master? Though my abilities might be insignificant, I'll repay your kindness with unwavering loyalty. I just don't understand why someone of your status, abilities, knowledge, and experience would choose to cooperate with the unworthy Nemesis.
Your view of the world doesn't have to be influenced by me. Likewise, my view of the world doesn't have to be understood by you. The beacons have fallen silent in recent decades. And the last thing I want to do requires the power of a beacon. Retributor promised to inform me of the window when the beacons will be reactivated, but only if I joined Nemesis. If I miss this opportunity, I doubt I'll get another chance before my time is up. To me, it's a fair deal. Both sides have shared interests for now, and that's all that matters.
Nemesis has too many selfish, arrogant, and shameless members. Most of them, in my opinion, are nothing but greedy scum. I fear they may break their promise.
You don't need to worry about that. Retributor kept his word. The beacon in Senior City is already active, and the Grandeur River will bring its blessings to all corners. Everything is going according to plan. During the meeting just now, I made it clear to the Nemesis members that no one should interfere with the events unfolding in Qian. This is a game between me and Yuan Xuan. I don't want any external factors to disrupt it. The final battle is always more thrilling when it unfolds without interference.
His gaze shifts to a distant place.
Your task is to eliminate any unwelcome surprise factors. A true gentleman observes the game without uttering a word, and anyone who tries to disrupt this game must be silenced forever.
As you wish.
Damn. Tian. All that dwells here is complete darkness. The encompassing darkness eliminates all senses, even enveloping thoughts and carrying them into the depths of unconsciousness. She cannot tell if she is standing still or if she is drifting with the flow in this darkness. All she desires is to let go of everything, surrendering to this vast emptiness reminiscing of amniotic fluid. She feels as though she is simultaneously falling and soaring through the air, like a rudderless boat or a kite with a broken string. Everything about me will drift in this nothingness until I fade away. In that instant, someone grasps the string of the kite. 0. 0. 0. 0. A voice calls her name from the other side of the profound darkness. At that moment, she finally remembers who she is. 0. For this name, she holds no particular attachment or sentiment. The body is the cage of the soul, and the name gives the cage a label. Hence, all things have names. Names wield power, shape in their existence and bind in their essence. In this manner, the name becomes the cage of the soul. Consequently, people bestow names with various meanings. Names can harbor blessings or curses. However, her name is bereft of all emotions. It is simply 0, utterly vacant and meaningless. No matter how much one chews on this word, one cannot taste any flavor. Yet, the voice calling her name carries so much tenderness. Merely being called this insignificant name seems to be infused with indescribable emotions. No one has ever called her name in such a tone. Unable to restrain herself, she reaches out towards the origin of the voice. The motorhome glides smoothly along the highway. I walk into the rear compartment. If it weren't for the slight bumps, I could easily mistake it for a room in a hospital. The air carries the scent of medicine, and the vibrations of the vehicle cause the curtains to open slightly. Consequently, a delicate, shimmering light seeps through the window, gently resting upon the girl's eyelashes. I approach her bed, close the curtains, and then settle down beside her, extending my hand to feel her breath. The warmth of my fingertips soothes my restless heart. The girl slumbers so peacefully that I can barely perceive the sound of her breathing. It feels as though she is not merely sleeping but entering an eternal dormancy, so instinctively I confirm that she is still alive. Sleep was once described as a small death and life as an extended insomnia. This small death she is experiencing has lasted for far too long. 0. I whispered into her ear. 0. As I expected, she does not respond. At that moment, I hear another set of footsteps coming from behind.
Are you doing this again? You're amazingly persistent in some weird ways. Haven't I told you already? Her vitals are being monitored and we'll know immediately if she wakes up. There's no point in guarding her bedside.
Zantan? This dark-haired woman holding a fan is named Zantan. She was the first person I saw when I woke up 2 days ago.
Oh, you're awake.
You. I attempt to speak, but a searing pain radiates through my throat.
Don't try talking. Take a sip of water first.
I gulp down the water she hands me, and it soothes my dry throat.
No need to explain or ask questions. Just listen to me for now. But before that, how should I address you? The prophecy seer? One of the 2 survivors in the Tower of Babel? Or the last director of Emaon?
While her words may sound like questions, I instantly realize that she is not expecting answers from me. Instead, she's simply using those titles to remind me of what happened. Where is 0? She studies my expression and then smiles.
Don't worry, she's safe for now. But 0 took a bold step to protect you, one that almost cost her life. You can thank her when she wakes up. Anyway, since you don't seem to like any of those titles, I'll just call your name. A name feels more personal than a title, don't you think? You can call me Jantan, the same Jantan from the poem. Atop Jantan Pavilion, I pen poems with delight. On Parrot Island, I immerse in wine's respite. Let me catch you up on what has happened so far.
Jantan claims to be a member of Emaon. According to her, she was the one who saved both Zero and me from the ruined Tower of Babel.
So, that's what went down in the Library of Babel. The god of the sun, the prophecy, Oedipus's tragedy, and Nemesis.
However, as I narrate my story, her face remains surprisingly calm, as if the tower destroyed by a nuclear explosion has nothing to do with her.
So, when I received Viola's message, I had a feeling that something big was about to happen. And when it actually did, I couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions.
So, Viola is missing, Nana is missing, and Shamash is missing. Are they actually dead, or are they just missing? Where is she?
Oh, right, Viola. Nana told her to leave early, and that's how I found out about you.
Ah, so she is alive.
Unfortunately, I only received a message from her, saying that Emaon would have a new director. So I came back here in a hurry, and you know what happened next. I found you, and Zero among the ruins.
Where are Nana and Shamash? Yeah, I was just asking about them.
Unfortunately, like I said, I only found you and Zero among the ruins.
And Ere-chan wasn't there, right?
I don't think I need to repeat myself a third time.
You seem surprisingly calm about all this.
Emotionally, I don't have a deep connection with them, so I won't shed tears over their departure. And logically, I wouldn't advise you to get too sentimental either. Who knows? Maybe they're not dead at all.
What does that mean?
I mean, literally. The Library of Babel hasn't been destroyed, and it can't be destroyed. If a tiny explosion could simply wipe out such an anomaly, why would we have spent thousands of years overseeing it? In Qian, we have a parable about blind people trying to figure out what an elephant looks like. Each blind person touches a different part of the elephant, and when they put it all together, they realize that an elephant is something round and thick, thin and long, and flat and wide. They call it an elephant, even though none of them can grasp the whole picture. Similarly, the library only shows you a glimpse of its endless contents. Imagine the beacon as a power source, and the Tower of Babel as a computer. When the beacon is activated, it's like booting up a computer named the Tower of Babel, connected to a server called the Library of Babel. The god of the sun only destroyed the space where the beacon was located, a joint created by the beacon between reality and the library.
But it was a nuclear explosion.
Well, would the collapse of a star even matter to the whole universe?
Jantan waves her fan.
While the connection is severed, the Library of Babel endures. While the impact might seem mind-blowing, in the infinite rooms within the library, it's like a tiny speck floating in an endless ocean. It won't even cause a ripple. And those who were stuck within the library might have no clue about what happened at all. So basically, the impact closed its gate to reality temporarily. As long as the beacon is still there, the library will reappear when the beacon is reactivated.
Oh, okay. As long as the beacon is still there. She stares at me intensely, and after what feels like forever, she gives up and shakes her head.
Well, forget it. Since Zero chose you, there's no need for any tests or whatever.
With that, she hands me something. What are these symbols? When I see the black seal in my hand, my heart skips a beat. A weird mix of emotions swells up inside me, filling my chest and bringing a strange sense of calm. The seal is pitch black. Even more bizarrely, my fingers can't feel its temperature or texture. With my limited knowledge, I can't think of any material that resembles seal.
This is the beacon of the library.
You're saying this thing is the beacon itself?
Exactly. This is the real beacon.
What?
Imagine this. When you press a seal on a clay tablet, it leaves different patterns on different parts of the tablet. If you just look at the tablet, you'd think one pattern is on one end and another pattern is on the other end. But on the roller, they're right next to each other, just like how everything in the universe is cleverly connected in some way. This is the true beacon that connects everything within the Library of Babel. I found it next to you when I rescued you from Nemesis. Looks like they were after it too. And now, I'm giving it back to you. So, as the last director of Emaon, what's your next move?
My thoughts return to the present. What did I answer Jantan's question back then? Please, let me think about it. Jantan didn't push me for an immediate answer when I said that.
I see. You just woke up, and I shouldn't rush you to give an answer. Well, take your time and consider this matter before Zero wakes up. After all, she's the one who wants your answer the most.
And so, she carried both Zero and me to her motorhome. I have no idea where this ride is headed or what we will do next. Honestly, I'm not really in a mood to think about it now. My mind is consumed with one question. When will the girl ever wake up? Jantan lets out a sigh.
Fine. Do whatever you want.
She turns around and returns to the driving cab. The motorhome vibrates at that regular frequency. I lean against the bedside, and it doesn't take long for me to fall asleep. Bells. I hear the sound of bells. Subconsciously, I turn around and my eyes catch sight of a gargantua clock levitating in the void. Memories rush back to me like a flood. I have been in this place many times before. Every time I enter this space, the memories of my previous visits resurface in my mind. In that marvelous library, every time I had the intention to scan for a certain sector, my consciousness would bring me to this place. However, every time I left this space, I would lose all my memories of what had happened here, so I thought each scanning was only a fleeting moment. But this time, the golden figure that usually awaits me in this realm is nowhere to be found. Silence envelops the space where its owner has departed, leaving me standing here alone. A subtle feeling of sorrow, like a slow trickle of water, begins to permeate my soul, spreading within my entire being. And then a voice echoes in my ears.
Fear not. The library will always protect you. Go back to where you should be right now.
The texture beneath me feels so soft that I'm reluctant to open my eyes. I feel something warm in the center of my hand. It is the beacon that I have been holding tightly. Its warmth gradually brings me back to consciousness. I struggle to lift my eyelids, and when I open my eyes, what I see in the white room of the vehicle. The white roof. It finally dawns on me that something is off. Why am I lying on a bed? At that moment, I hear sound of fabric rusting. I hastily sit, and my eyes meet a pair of golden eyes. Somehow, the girl who should have been lying on the bed, severely injured, is now sitting next to the bed, while I lie upon it. You're awake. I interrupt her question. A subtle silence falls between us. I immediately regret interrupting her. Zero is never one to feel embarrassed by moments of complete silence. She is naturally reserved and rarely initiates conversations unless it is necessary for exchanging information. The only person feeling suffocated by the awakened silence is likely myself. Seriously, why did I create this awkward atmosphere? Perhaps because I instinctively sensed that the question she intended to ask was something I didn't want to answer. I felt as if, at that moment of confrontation with her, her golden eyes had pierced through my inner vulnerabilities. Just as the dead silence becomes increasingly overwhelming and suffocating.
Oh, finally awake?
Jantan shows up in the compartment and playfully addresses me.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about you. You're the caretaker, but you ended up hogging the patient's bed and slept well. Did you have a nice dream?
The motorhome has stopped and the drowsy bumps have decreased. I noticed that Jantan is holding a box in her hand.
Now that Zero is awake, I suppose I can go now. I've talked to her about everything and sorted out your next steps. Anyway, you need a place to stay now. I've entered your destination into the navigation system, so just follow the map. I have some business to attend to, so I'll come back for you when I'm done.
Where are you going?
To Qingyu City.
Qingyu City?
Oh, yeah. Since you never asked me about it, I didn't say anything. We left Obed long ago, and now we're traveling in a new continent.
She walks over to the bed and pulls open the curtains. Although the sun is hidden behind layers of clouds, and there is still vapor in the distance, this vibrant land is so vast that everything... Oh boy. Yeah, well, I couldn't even complete that. What a way to break immersion, yeah? Yeah. Wait, what? Why is it like that? 481. What? What is that? Alright, The Cerulean Vapor. After Zantan leaves, only Zero and I remain in the motor home. The vehicle continues in autopilot mode towards its destination, while the precious silence envelops the two of us once again. Looking out the window at the greenery, I mutter the name of the land. Qian.
Qian? Where should I start? This name represents both a nation and a civilization, as well as a reference to its long history. Unlike the young Polestar, Qian is one of the most ancient countries in the world. Unlike the devout Japheth, Qian doesn't have any religious traditions. Unlike the stalwart Cyril, Qian doesn't possess a fervor for power. And unlike the small land of Delphi, Qian is so vast that it is still night in the west when the sun rises in the east. Qian encompasses a comprehensive world with its own culture, history, and customs. However, in recent times, Qian has undergone dramatic changes, and a period of turmoil that marks the end of thousands of years of its imperial rule, and the rise of a modern society. Nowadays, Qian is completely different from its past. It's best to see it for yourself. Otherwise, it would require extensive scholarly works to fully explain. As for CangLin City, it's the largest agricultural production center in Qian. The Grandeur River traverses the entirety of Qian from east to west, nourishing lives in the vast fertile plains. CangLin City is located in the heart of the fertile plains. As its name implies, it's the granary of this nation. It has fully utilized automatic agricultural systems and serves as a testing ground for new crops and cultivation techniques. The revitalized Qian has been purged of the remnants and contaminations of the past. It's a city deeply connected to its land, to the culture of Qian, and to its people. Even if some force were to relocate the city to another corner of the world overnight, it would inevitably return to Qian, to the banks of the Grandeur River. Only there would it truly regain its essence. Your destination is CangLin City, where Weishu is located. I've already informed my colleagues, so once you arrive in CangLin City, our colleagues will come and pick you up.
Aren't you coming with us?
You're not infants in need of constant care, and I have my own business to attend to. No need to worry. The moment you set foot in Qian, you're under the protection of Weishu. No matter what choice you may make, you'll always be our esteemed guests. Rest assured, no one will be able to harm our guests in this land.
Famous last words? The sudden, oh my god, the sudden break-in, bracken interrupts my memories. Did we hit something?
Something appears to be wrong with the autopilot system.
She glances at the vehicle's control system and cautiously fiddles with the interface above her.
It is malfunctioning.
So, what do we do now? Zero rummages through the toolbox and finds what looks like a driver's manual, quickly flipping through its pages. She swiftly skims through the book and finishes reading the rather thick manual in just 5 minutes.
I can switch it to manual mode.
Wait, you actually know how to drive? No, she does not.
I've read about these machines in books before, and I just finished going through the manual.
But wait! Before I can even finish my sentence, Zero is already in the driver's seat, ready to take control.
First, I should start this thing up and... Huh?
The engine makes a rather ominous noise.
Let's start over again. Pull this lever, and then that one.
The vehicle lurches forward and then comes to an abrupt stop once more. Maybe we should just forget about it?
Theoretically, it should work perfectly. The principle and the order of operations are crystal clear to me.
A fluffy ball pops out from under Zero's cloak and lands on the steering wheel. What? Stop being reckless, Missy! You've never left the tower or driven a car in your life. Trying it now will only turn this motorhome into a coffin. Wait, you're still alive? Ouch, that stings. Why the surprised look? A cute bird like me is naturally alive and well, right? I mean, would have the heart to let me die. That's unthinkable. Well, as a loyal pet of our dear Missy, who knows nothing about the world, have grown accustomed to shielding her from the impacts of nuclear explosion every now and then. It's just part of my daily routine now.
Do you understand what On is talking about?
Oops, looks like she's figured that out. Anshirp deftly dodges Zero's hand and gracefully lands on my head. Whatever, just listen to my command. You, Missy, take the passenger seat and behave yourself. And you, pesky fool, yeah, I'm talking to you. Come and sit in the driver's seat. Let this cute, smart, and charming little bird teach you how to drive. Really? A bird's gotta teach me how to drive now? With Ansharp's guidance, the vehicle starts moving slowly towards our destination.
Don't pay any attention to what it said. It's just a silly bird with the brain the size of a walnut.
Chirp, chirp. Wait, what? I can't believe it. Am I nothing more than a silly bird to you? You used to let me tell me how lonely you felt on those melancholy nights. Ansharp once again manages to slip away from Zero's grasp. Hey, now that's going too far. I didn't teach you to be such a rude girl. Are you taking it out on me just because you're feeling uneasy? That's not fair.
Shut up, On.
Nah, I've had enough. I'm angry. Even a sweet-nosed over bird like me can get angry, you know? You're angry because you feel so helpless after the downfall of Eman, and now you're desperately trying to prove yourself, pretending you can do everything, but deep down, you're just afraid that Sora might leave you behind. But you know what? You're just a clueless girl who has never set foot outside the tower. You have no idea how to operate any machinery, and you lack even basic social skills. Zero wipes out her wand and swiftly knocks Angel down, then tosses it out of the window like it is trash. Their movements are quick and decisive without hesitation.
Don't worry, that thing is practically unkillable, if nothing else. Just forget everything it said. Pretend you didn't hear it.
Fine. I don't have the guts to say no to her. However, you're angry because you feel so helpless after the downfall of Emeon, and now you're desperately trying to prove yourself, pretending you can do everything. But deep down, you're just afraid that Sora might leave you behind. But what it just said. Zero gives me a stern look, indicating that further discussion on the topic would result in my removal from the vehicle, similar to how she dealt with the bird.
John Tan has told me about the Tower of Babel and Emeon. Apart from the Emeon on duty outside the tower, we are the only survivors of that incident. Now Emeon no longer exists, both in name and reality. However, we are fortunate to receive assistance from Weisha.
Weisha?
Yes, John Tan is from Weisha. More precisely, she belongs to both Emeon and Weisha, serving as a bridge between us. Weisha is a member of CAVE. Just as Emeon has been watching over Obed, Weisha has been protecting Tian in the east.
Ah. Okay.
However, according to her, Weisha is currently facing unexpected situations as well.
Is it something like an anomaly? After she responds, she glances out the window vigilantly, as if she notices something unusual. As the sun moves towards the western horizon, dusk gradually envelops the surroundings. A faint vapor seems to emanate from the dense trees on both sides of the road. As twilight deepens, the vapor thickens, likely due to the drop in temperature. The street light illuminate the surroundings, but within the vapor, their glow appears dim, resembling faintly glowing jellyfish swimming in the depths of the sea. What's wrong?
The color of the vapor.
As she mentioned it, I noticed a faint cerulean hue in the vapor ahead of the headlights.
I've never encountered fog of this color before, nor have I read about anything similar in those books. What's worse, the vapor has been thickening. Our visibility has dropped from 120 meters to 60 meters. Let's slow down.
Soon, darkness engulfs our surroundings. Only two beams of light from the car's headlights pierce through the vapor. As Zero mentioned, even those columns of light are gradually diminishing. The street lights on both sides of the road have shrunk to flickering will-o'-the-wisps.
Keep the speed. Don't stop.
The color of the vapor continues to intensify to the point where it cannot be ignored. Like a thin layer of paint, it casts It coats everything outside the window with a cerulean thin. The headlights now only illuminates less than 10 meters ahead. Nevertheless, the diffused light is sufficient to outline the shadows, the trees lining the roadside. The road lies eerily quiet, devoid of any other vehicles. We are the sole travelers, resembling a ship traversing through a thick fog. The undulating, what the hell is that? Jagged silhouettes of the trees silently loom over us, stirring up a sense of unease in my heart. Should we stop here?
This vapor is most likely some kind of anomaly, or, at the very least, an indirect effect of it, and we have entered it. We have no clues about this anomaly. If we stop here, it is possible that we may never get out of the vapor. Let's continue forward, as long as there are no obvious obstacles.
Time passes in an uncanny silence until... But it is already too late. Before I can execute Zero's command, I see a massive shadow emerge in front of the headlights. Move! In the next instant, I experience the head-on collision. Darkness descends as my face makes impact with the airbag from steering wheel. A disorienting spin follows, as if the entire car has tumbled, followed by an uneasy sensation of falling. After what feels like a minute, or perhaps a year, the world finally stops spinning and tranquility settles in. Oh boy. Holy shit. Everything went to shit. Oh my god. Wow, everything crystallized. It gotten even worse.
Where is the seer?
It got worse and worse. Oh my god. Is it like been a week or something? Enemies alert. Avoid confrontation. Yeah, I'm low HP, so yeah, naturally I'll avoid confrontation. Breakfast the crystal sound to attract. Oh, interesting. We're going stealthy mode now. Damn, that's actually really nice. It's simple, but nice nonetheless. Yep, I know what to do. A cluster of dark green crystals formed from some unknown substance and solidified into peculiar geometric shapes. Unlike aged patina, those clusters emit a vivid radiance as if they will never decay. Unlike steel or silver, these clusters possess colors reminiscent of living organisms rather than crystalline formations. In short, these otherworldly clusters are unlike any known metal.
I've never seen anything like this in any book.
It's bright and shiny. Is it a gem? It must be. Can I take a piece? Ansharp's eyes light up as it attempts to perch on one of the crystal clusters. But as soon as its claws touches one of the crystals, it recoiled as if shocked. Eee! Gross, gross! My clothes are all dirty now. These things are definitely not gems. Okay. Shit. Okay. That did it. The device in front of you features an interactive screen with 4 switches. Oh, what? No, no. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah, I misclicked. Power supply inactive. Please activate the power supply. Emergency mark 1. Power supply inactive. Please activate the power supply. Lightning mark. Power supply activated. The unit is now operational. Watermark switch? No. Emergency mark switch B. Lift barricade B. The barricade cannot be activated again within an hour. Yes. Barricade lifted. Please proceed forward. Okay. Ooh, what is this? Thanks. Oh, that thing explodes. Oh, I see. The insect eggs attached to the boots emit a fluorescent green glow. However, it's not the vibrant hue of life. Instead, it resembles the cold luminescence of inorganic matter. Normal insect eggs, despite their repulsive colors, give the impression that something is growing inside and will soon hatch. These eggs, on the other hand, possess captivating colors, but feels cold and stagnant. Whatever lies inside them has long ceased to grow. The fluid inside the eggs have been accumulating, ready to burst at any moment. Yeah, okay, that's what exploded just now. God damn, bro. Damn. Onwards. The fog is so dense that the road can barely be seen ahead. Relying on her combat instinct, Zero eliminates the last of the greenish monsters that attempt to attack her. As the dust settles, Zero wanders around in confusion, covering her head.
Sia!
The moment she realizes that she is completely separated from Sora, her pupils contract sharply.
No. Where's the Sia?
Calm down, Zero. Antwerp, having returned, lands on Zero's head and peeks at her. Don't worry, that guy isn't incompetent. Let me look around. Oh, yep. I'll need to screenshot this because some people were trashing on this game, saying that the main character is a woman. We shouldn't need a guy main character, and well, I will have to show them later. Like, no, it's a dude. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. That guy isn't that incompetent. Let me look around for you. Okay, let's go. Shit. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. That works. Just get close enough for it to trigger itself. What about these? Okay, these are not active. Got it. I think I can break these. Yeah, I can't. Look what I found! Chirp! There's a lit up house not far ahead. Let's head that way. And even if that guy isn't there, we can ask the locals for help. Come on, let's hurry, I'll lead the way. I don't know what that is.
Time to put an end to this.
I messed up. Path blocked. Please enter the password.
Get lost.
Chirp, wait, what? What are you doing, silly girl? Why heard you breaking this stuff. What if its owner doesn't want to help us now? Don't break anything unless you have to. We're in a civilized society here. If you do something bad, you'll end up getting arrested. Alright, calm down. The password. The machine mentioned might be the name of the owner here. This place should be the owner's manor, or something like that. Anyway, let's look around. Maybe we can find something.
It's okay. I'm still alive.
The board next to the pond says the following. Module number 2. Observation, pond 2. Some of the information has been blurred by rust. How long has it been? What the hell? How long has it been for it to go this bad, this fast, bro? Like, come on, bro. How do you get past here? Oh shit! Oh shit! I'm dead. I think I'm dead. Yeah. Okay, I made it somehow. No, it doesn't affect me. Okay, the board next to the road.
Time to put an end to this.
Oh, I'm dead. What the? Okay, I have to figure this one out. Oh, I had to heal. Okay, I see. Alright. I guess I just had to heal. Yeah, skip this one or see that. Alright, we keep going. I can't see. I can't see. Oh my god. Bro. Yeah, okay. We're good. Yeah, I had no other choice but to fight. Got it. The board next to the boat post states the following. Farming area in the region. A4 person. In charge, Nong. Some of the information has been blurred by rust. So I can't go forward? I have to go forward though. Probably a different path. Okay. Board next to the pond says the following. Module number 3. In regional E11 person in charge. Some of the information has been blurred by rust. Okay. Path blocked. Please enter the password. E11. Verification failed. Path blocked. Was it this one? Nope. It was the second one. Okay. Verification successful.
I hope you're right.
Pick up. Damn, bro.
Complete insight.
Ho ho.
Full.
Okay. I love using Zero. And she's really good, the character. Whoa. Oh, footprints. Chirp, look what I found! Footprints! From that annoying guy. Zero stares at the trail of footprints, her voice still cold and hard.
Why are there two trails?
One of them is definitely from that guy. I can't be mistaken. But the other one? I don't get it. I'm just a little bird with a brain the size of a walnut. This is too complicated for me.
Is the seer being held hostage?
The murderous aura surrounding Zero becomes palpable. And Chirp flinches and quickly hides under Zero's cloak. I'm feeling sleepy. The dawn is almost there, and even this diligent bird needs to catch some Z's. Alright, you can go to sleep. I'm not gonna keep using that bird voice again. God damn, bro. Using that. That low note, high note? Yeah, high note. Nongyi. The world spins. And oh my god, and a cacophony of crashing, dizziness, and pain assault my senses, plunging me into darkness. Finally, the falling sensation ends, and I feel the moist, soft touch of the summer soil beneath me. A warm liquid trickles down my skin. It feels as though my every joint has been brutally loosened by a screwdriver, leaving me gasping for breath. After a while, I managed to stand up. Was I ejected from the car? Upon inspecting my body, I noticed scrapes of bruises on my arms and legs, but thankfully, no broken bones or severe injuries. I find myself in a wild field where the abundant grass and trees have softened the impact of the fall. However, when I look up, all I see is the darkness stretching indefinitely, accompanied by an eerie silence. I cannot see any cars or find the way back. There is no lights and no traces of Zero. The vapor thickens, becoming more humid, and I struggle to determine if it is the vapor of my blood making my skin sticky. A faint light hangs in the distance, possibly the moon, but instead of eliminating the darkness, it just adds to the eerie atmosphere. I call out for Zero multiple times, but my shouts disappear into the vast darkness without an echo. Despite my efforts to remain composed, fear sips in, sending shivers in up my spine. What should I do now? This is the first time I realize how limited my knowledge of the world is. Which direction should I go? After some hesitation, I follow my intuition and choose the direction that seems to lead me back to where I came from. The summer field resembles a humid swamp, causing my feet to sink into the grass. It feels as though invisible fingers tug at my shoes and pants. The cerulean vapor clings to the air, making it increasingly difficult to breathe. A growing sense of unease envelops me as grotesque silhouette emerges from the vapor. Some resemble mutilated figures and others indescribable entities. Where am I headed now? Am I retracting my steps or venturing deeper into the mountains? Or worse, am I unknowingly walking towards the bottomless Grandeur River? At that moment, a silhouette within the vapor starts to move. I freeze, my hair standing on the end, fixing my gaze on the silhouette, hoping it is just a swaying grass. But to my dismay, it continues to move, accompanied by a faint rustling sound that grows closer to my by the moment. Should I run or scream? My brain falters, leaving me helpless as the silhouette looms larger in my vision. It is the silhouette of a human, but with an otherworldly face. The person raises their hand, removing something from their face, and approaches me. I stand frozen as the person brings their head up to cover my face with something. Suddenly, my breathing becomes easier as a weight presses against my face. I reach out and realize it is a mask. A gas mask. The mask eases my breathing and alleviates the hallucinations caused by oxygen deprivation. I carefully observe the stranger who has helped me in the dense vapor. His gaze is calm and kind, devoid of any hostility. Just as I am about to speak, he shakes his head and places a finger on his lips, signaling for silence. A rustling sound emerges from the depths of the vapor. Something is steering behind the rice fields. He gestures for me to follow and proceed forward. After a moment of hesitation, I decide to follow him. I have no choice, so I have to follow him. The street lights in the darkness gradually grow brighter. It is not due to an increase in their power, but rather because the thick vapor that had enveloped the area is dissipating.
Good. Now we can talk.
The stranger removes his mask.
The government has imposed a ban on going outside, and ordinary people like you must not wander around at such late hours. What exactly happened that you had to come out? Well, wait. You're not from Tien, are you?
He seems to have noticed that I am not dressed like a typical resident. I'm here for business. I explain about the car accident on the road to CangLin City.
I see. I'm sorry if I frightened you. I guess my tone was a bit too harsh.
With a tinge of regret, he crouches down and attempts to inspect the bruises on my leg from the accident.
Can you still walk?
I politely decline his offer of assistance, preferring to remain cautious when dealing with a stranger. Sensing my hesitation, he refrains from making any further gestures and maintains a respectful distance.
You're not aware of the current situation. I'm afraid CangLin City has been under quarantine for over a week now.
It's been over a week. What's happening there?
We're not sure about the details. But according to the government, the Grandeur River has been contaminated by an unknown substance, leading to a pandemic affecting both plants and animals. The animals have gone wild. As for the plants, as you can see, they're covered in weird rust. Now is the transition from summer to fall, and autumn vapor rises. The pollutants have dispersed into the air, so the government has banned anyone from going outside.
Who might you be?
My name is Wuxia, and I'm one of the vigilantes here.
Vigilantes?
Since this area is located on the outskirts with scattered residents, and most of the affected animals roam in the wilderness, we farmers have organized vigilante squads to take turns patrolling this area. This is to ensure everyone obeys the curfew and prevent wild animals from attacking people. I'm afraid your vehicle was attacked by oxen.
I had a companion with me. Could you please... Upon hearing my plea, Wuxi shakes his head.
The vapor is too thick, and you're wounded. It's not safe to stay outside. I'll report your situation to the Bureau of Civil Security and ask them to search for your companion. Don't worry, they're professionals, and your companion will be safe and sound. I'll take you to my friend's house so you can settle down. We'll have to wait for the vapor to disperse before we can do anything.
Accompanied by Wuxi, we arrived at the small residence. Wuxi presses the doorbell, and shortly afterward, a faint cough is heard from behind the door.
Who's there? At this late hour?
An old man with a grizzled hair opens the door. Upon seeing Wuxi and me in our current state, he appears surprised as he steps aside to let us in.
Come on in.
After Wuxi enters the house, the two of them go into the kitchen, engaging in a hushed conversation. Taking this moment, I look around. The furniture is unremarkable, consisting of typical Qian-style tables and chairs on the tables. On the tables, there are scattered papers that appear to be sketches, depicting crops rather than ornamental flowers. Wuxi walks out of the kitchen.
Please stay here for a while. Mr. Nong has already informed the Bureau of Civil Security about your situation, and they'll send someone to pick you up at dawn.
Wuxi puts his backpack on and heads towards the door. Wait, where are you going?
I'm going to search the area where your car crashed and see if I can find your companion.
He walks out of the door. As I stand up, attempting to follow him, the old man comes out of the kitchen and scolds me.
Why are young people these days so reckless? Don't push your luck. You're wounded.
He places a first aid kit on the table and firmly holds me down, tending to my wounds.
He told me about your situation. Don't worry, he has a kind soul and is skilled in combat. Since he's promised to look for your companion, he will do it.
The old man's hands are noticeably frail. The occasional coughing that fills the air causes him to stoop, as if the weight of years has transformed from mere wrinkles on his forehead into a tangible burden resting on his shoulders. He appears more fragile than someone who, like myself, has just been through a car accident. I give up the idea of breaking free from his grasp, fearing it may cause him harm.
You look tired, young adventurer. You must have experienced a lot, but you don't need to tell me anything for now. Just go to bed and sleep, and we can talk when you wake up tomorrow. When you're tired, sleep is the best remedy.
It is already late into the night. A place so close to the river, and fields would typically be filled with the sounds of cicadas and frogs. However, as I listen, there is nothing but an eerie silence. It's unusually quiet for a summer night. The stale air inside the house reminds me of the mysterious vapor, as if I am once again enveloped by it, suffocating. What happened to Zero? Is she still trapped in the vapor? Sleeping is out of the question. I decided against taking a walk outside to calm my mind. I noticed a figure sticking in the dark hallway. Who's there? The light switches on.
I thought only old folks like me struggled with sleep. Oh, don't worry about me. It's just that my aging body has been letting me down more and more. Is the bed too hard for you to sleep on?
No, I'm worried about my companion.
Well then, have a seat for a bit. I've got some grapes here. I picked them from the field before the cerulean vapor rolled in. Give them a try. By the way, what's your name?
Tell him your name.
My name is Nongji. I've been working with crops my whole life, and now that I'm retired, I tend to my garden at home. You've come from far away, haven't you?
I'm not entirely sure.
If you're here for sightseeing, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. CangLin City has surely seen better days. Why does this have to happen before autumn? Oh well, it's rare to have a guest here. Let's not dwell on disappointing matters. How do the grapes taste?
They're quite unique.
Oh, really?
Surprised by my answer, the old man picks 2 grapes and tastes them.
Seems the hybrid traits of strains A475 and C377 aren't stable enough. Well, the issue probably lies in the ratio of glucose and tartaric acid. I should reevaluate the offspring in the next batch.
Do you study plants?
Sorry for making you eat the new varieties from my experiments, but rest assured that these grapes are safe and haven't been contaminated. Well, I've grown several traditional varieties suitable for entertaining guests, but they won't ripen for a few more months. But ever since the cerulean vapor spread across the river, my grapes stopped growing. My 6 acres of Type 9 and 9 acres of Type 5 mother parents, and 4 acres of Type A and 8 acres of Type E father parents, along with 71 acres of experimental plots from crossbreeding, a total of 100 acres is on the brink of losing its harvest.
Wait, you call that a few acres?
You'll see in the morning. The entire fertile plains is our farmland. Now that's what I call spectacular. The real granary of the world. But of course I'm not farming on my own. I am an old man after all. Look over there, outside the window. Can you see it?
Following Nongji's gesture, I faintly make out a row of tower-like shadows illuminated by the moonlight.
Those are tower-type farming terminals, serving as part of the centralized agriculture system of this city. With those machines, one farmer could cultivate nearly 2,000 acres of land. Those machines will take care of sowing, irrigation, pesticide application, and harvesting. And all we need to do is connect it to the various subsystems based on the seasons. So usually I need to visit the fields every now and then and take samples for analysis, while the machine handles the rest. But now, with the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture suspending production, these machines won't be much help. The government is completely focused on grain distribution and transportation.
Will the corpse fail?
I saw a famine with my own eyes. It was 15 years ago in the western region. You look young, and like you're not from around here, so maybe you're not familiar with that part of our history. But my generation will never forget those haunting images. Farming in the past was back-breaking work without all these fancy machines we have today. Back then, people went to great lengths, even risking their lives, just to put food on the table. I hope the younger generation gets to live in a world where they're spared from the hardships we endured. Those machines you just saw give us a glimpse of that dream coming true. Thanks to them, the younger people don't have to suffer from early calluses on their shoulders and hands caused by life's hardships. Ideally, those machines would be running non-stop. But now, well, whatever is happening in CangLin City, I just hope things settle down soon. After all, farming season doesn't wait for anyone. Daylight and rain follow their own rhythms, and if we miss the right timing, we miss the harvest.
Asti, hand me this.
It's time to compose a new piece.
reunion.
I've been monitoring the government's actions, and nothing unusual has happened so far. Now let's give a quick update on the current situation here. How is the progress on isolating the water source?
The central agricultural system has stopped drawing water from the Grandeur River, and irrigation across the fertile plains has been suspended. The emergency cross-region water transfer project is underway, with all regions deploying their engineering forces under the command of the central region to support the project. However, the anomalies caused by the contaminated water haven't ceased yet. Crop growth remains halted, and drone monitoring reports indicate that the area affected by the anomaly continues to expand. This is hardly surprising considering that all the underground water in the Jiangxin region stems from the Grandeur River. If we don't intervene soon, it's likely that this problem will surpass the boundaries of the Jiangxin region within a few weeks.
Has Logos returned to Delphi with the samples?
The samples have already been sent to the Delphic Oracle for examination, but the progress has been slow. What's worse, the influences on the residents of CangLin City have intensified. While those symptoms cannot be perceived by ordinary people, we see it clearly that the skin of affected patients gradually takes on an unhealthy cerulean hue, similar to the infected crops. Moreover, the affected livestock and wild animals pose another problem. According to our records, we've received over 1,600 reports of abnormal behavior in our breeding centers and observation nodes, and that's only accounting for witness cases. Over the past week, the number of such reports has been increasing at an alarming rate of 10% per day. Many are calling for a complete quarantine of the breeding areas, which I'm sure you're already aware of. The Bureau of Health and Welfare must be overwhelmed by now.
It's been a week since Master Yuan Cuen left Songlin City. Is the situation in Xingyu City truly that dire? Can't even Master Yuan Cuen resolve it? In that case, it seems we'll have to postpone this year's Harvest Festival.
A sensible decision. But the Harvest Festival is the most important event of the year in Songlin City. It's not just a festival. It carries the prayers of countless people and is deeply intertwined with their daily lives. Postponing the festival will undoubtedly upset everyone.
I understand, but the urgency of the situation demands it. I'll discuss the matter with my colleagues in the government tomorrow.
Perhaps we should announce the postponement at a later time. Announcing it now might unsettle people and potentially lead to widespread panic.
At a later time? When will it be then? The longer we delay the announcement, the more suspicion and rumors will spread. Once we've made the decision to postpone the festival, it's best to announce the news as soon as possible. Truth doesn't inspire fear. Concealment does.
Sorry for interrupting, Xing. Zhang Tan just sent a message, and she has a lot to report. The situation involving the Tower of Babel and Emeon doesn't sound promising.
I see. Contact her now.
Xing scans the hall and notices the absence of a familiar figure.
By the way, where's Xin? Where did she go off to this time?
Always stuck in meetings, and more meetings. Finally, I've managed to sneak out. Oh, hey, isn't this that old man's turf? I'll go and ask him for something tasty. And in return, I'll help him patrol the fields. It's pretty late at night. I wonder if the old man is still awake. Huh? What's going on? All lights in this area are on. Could it be the old man? No, he never goes to the field at this hour. Let's go and see what's happening.
Let's go. It tries to hide their presence. As a result, even at night, enemies will immediately enter combat. Bruh, they keeping it true to character. That's so awesome. That's so cool, bro.
Forgive all sins. Forgive all sins.
enough of this nonsense? Stop right now!
Okay, that's just one. Okay. After some effort, Sheen hears a faint hum from the switchboard, and the street lights begin to illuminate one by one. In the newfound light, she spots several damaged crates tucked away in a corner. Yeah, but before that, we'll do this. Important following common area. Yep, okay. There we go. That's 2 out of 2 chests. We're done. Let's go.
Is this the aftermath of a car accident? The entire CangLin city has been sealed off. How did an outsider manage to get in here during this situation?
Blooming from the flames. In the name of Florence.
Enough of this nonsense! Stop right now! First is a storm of fear!
A foul scent from outsiders. Let's get rid of those invading beasts.
How was it? Watermark, right? Emergency B. Gun is prohibited. Let's activate. It was 4 minutes and 51 seconds ago. Okay, emergency A then. Yes. And the barricade cannot be activated again within an hour. Yes. Nongji. Barricade lifted. Please proceed forward.
Are these footprints? But they're not from the old man. Could it be bandits?
Zero.
Ha! I finally caught you, intruder! What were you sneaking around here for? Not in the mood to talk, huh? Looks like I'll have to use force then.
We're actually fighting? Really? Time passes quickly as Nongji and I engage in casual conversation when I suddenly become aware of the time. Few rays of the sunrise, of the rising sun have already seeped through the gaps in the curtains and into the house. At that moment, I hear a sudden commotion from outside. Instinctively, I think of the wild animals, but upon listening more closely, I realize that something does not match. Nongjing stands up and walks outside of his house. Not far away, 2 figures are standing on the ridge, facing each other under the morning sun. One of them appears unfamiliar to me, but the other one is... Zero! Oh no. The girl whose name is called. Watch out!
Sin! It's you, old man!
At that very moment, the tip of the spear halts midair. The girl named Shin manages to stop her momentarily, just in time.
What are you doing? She's my guest!
Although Nongjing has not fully grasped the situation, he realizes that Zero is my missing companion and diffuses the conflict with a simple statement.
Wait, what?
Stop there, Zero. Upon seeing Nongji and me, two girls resembling cats caught in a private fight, retract their sharp claws in unison. All the people who were originally facing off on the bridge return to the house. In silence, a dark figure appears under the shade of nearby tree. Wu Shi's gaze remains enigmatic as he observed the house from distance. After a while, he shakes his head, then vanishes like a phantom. Damn. Alright. The granary of the nation. Inside Nongjin's house.
Hey, that's not my problem. Who would sneak around someone's house in the middle of the night? I thought it was some kind of thief.
The redhead girl grumbles while digging into her rice bowl. Zero and I sit at the other end of the table, struggling to find our appetite. We are still catching our breath from that life-threatening experience. Meanwhile, one of the culprits seems unfazed, casually eating and drinking after entering into the room.
Behave yourself, Sin. You accidentally harmed her, so you should apologize.
Harmed her? But there's no harm done, right? Can't you see she's alive and kicking? Hey, tell me, did I harm you?
Zero remains composed with her eyes closed, showing no reaction. Obviously, the red-haired girl feels reluctant to apologize.
Seriously, it's all because of you, old man. The government issued a citywide evacuation notice, but you just refused to leave. If I hadn't been worried about you, I wouldn't have come here every day and ended up causing this commotion.
She hands her empty bowl to Nongji. Nongji takes it and gives her another large bowl of rice.
Worried about me? You came here for the free meals, little girl.
Well, that's one of the reasons too. I just can't resist your tasty dishes.
Then she turns around, giving Zero and me a sharp look.
But seriously, old man, you really need to be more careful and not invite suspicious people into your home.
Just then, something in Shin's pocket starts ringing. Shin frowns and takes it out. It is a communicator.
Huh? Sing.
Despite her reluctant... Despite her reluctant, Shin answers the call.
Hello? Yeah, I'm investigating outside. Yeah, right. I'm in the agricultural district. Huh? Look for someone. Why? Do I have to run errands again? All right, fine. Just stop nagging and tell me about them. One of them has silver gray hair and golden eyes, and she's about 18 years old, right? Can you describe her clothes?
Excuse me. Zero opens her eyes, staring at Shin in silence. Unaware, Shin continues taking notes, apparently not realizing that the person sitting across from her perfectly matches the description on the communicator.
So she wears a black cloak and a white dress, with a book hanging out her side, and a cosmos flower pendant near her ear. Gosh, I just can't imagine anyone dressing so strangely.
Really? Shin rolls her eyes as she speaks at the person on the other end of the communicator until her gaze lands on Zero. The air freezes for several seconds as I witness Shin's vivid expression change from confusion to realization and finally settles on astonishment.
What?
The red-haired girl finally realizes the truth, slams the table and points Zero's face, shouting,
"It's you!"
Bruh. Big E-dot moment, eh? Very big E-dot moment. Let's go. My throat is killing me. This game is really nice. I'm enjoying my time with it. Weishi. The sun has fully risen, dispersing the thick vapor. We bid farewell to Nongji. Apparently Nongji is an ordinary person, and there are certain things that are not intended for him to hear. Zero and I never imagined that the composed Jantan and the impulsive girl in front of us actually belong to the same organization. That is Weishi. After a while, the outline of a city gradually comes into view. Compared to a city, CangLin City resembles more of a garden nestled amidst the fertile plains. Human settlements blend harmoniously with the natural surroundings, creating a picturesque landscape reminiscent of a traditional ink painting. Verdant, serene, and peaceful, it shimmers under the sunlight, akin to the most melodious part of a song. However, there is a subtle sense of discord, as if an inexplicable ink bolt has marred a carefully composed painting, or an incorrect note has intruded upon a harmonious refrain. This sense of discord stems from the cerulean rust that has corroded the walls and floors, as well as the quarantine area that separates the city from the outside world. Shin, who has been leading the way, suddenly turns around and walks towards us.
Hey, you're the refugees from Emma or whatever,
Emayan.
right?
Yes, Emayan. I wouldn't use the term refugees.
What's the big deal about a word? I can't stand people like you who get hung up on words. Why obsess over such pointless details? As long as we understand each other, it's all good, right?
Shin's stare turns aggressive.
Never mind, it doesn't matter. But let me warn you, don't badmouth me in front of Chang.
Okay. As I wonder about the Chang that she keeps mentioning, a clear and soothing voice resonates throughout the city, reaching every corner. The holographic image of a young, composed, and majestic woman appears all over the city.
Dear residents of CangLin City, I am Tsi Lansing, the Jutsing of the Bureau of Oversight and Integrity. Given the recent outbreak of an unidentified disease, a state of emergency has been declared in CangLin City. I kindly request your understanding and compliance with the following guidelines. 1. This disease is currently referred to as the cerulean blight. Its primary symptoms include an abnormal cerulean discoloration resembling metal on the skin, slower reaction times, and loss of appetite. Please assess yourself and those around you for any manifestation of these symptoms. 2. If you experience any discomfort, please promptly visit the nearest medical facility for examination. 3. Residents under quarantine should adhere to the guidance provided by medical professionals and refrain from succumbing to panic. 4. At present, the Grandeur River is suspected to be the primary source of infection. Water extraction from the river has ceased, and arrangements have been made to import clean water to ensure a continued water supply. 5. We have established restricted areas spanning a width of 1.5 kilometers on both sides of the Grandeur River. Until further notice, swimming, drawing water, and fishing in the river are strictly prohibited. All cross-river traffic has been temporarily suspended. 6. Animal contamination has led to a loss of control over their behavior. To ensure everyone's safety, a curfew will be enforced in CangLin City starting at 7 o'clock in the evening. Please stay in your homes and do not go outside. Thank you for your attention, understanding, and support. We will exert every effort to address the cerulean blight swiftly and restore normalcy to the lives of all residents as soon as possible.
The female representative offers a slight bow towards the camera before her holographic image fades away. Shortly after, a male holographic figure emerges. In contrast to the female representative's assertiveness, the new representative exudes a warm and gentle demeanor.
Esteemed residents of CangLin City, I am Feng Lin, the Director of the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture. Firstly, I extend my sincere apologies to everyone for the impact that the cerulean blight has had on our agricultural production and daily lives. The Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture assumes full responsibility for this predicament. At this moment, we are collaborating with other departments to investigate the origins of the cerulean blight. I assure you that we are committed to swiftly developing a treatment plan. Since many of you are concerned about the implications of the cerulean blight on this year's agricultural production, I would like to provide a brief update on behalf of the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture. Firstly, the cerulean blight significantly affects plants and can spread across various crop species, with affected crops exhibiting symptoms similar to those observed in animals. Secondly, while the cerulean blight does not prove fatal to plants, it induces sterility, rendering the affected crops incapable of producing seeds and fruits. Thirdly, given that the majority of crops are primarily consumed for their seeds and fruits, this plague will lead to a significant decline in agricultural production this year. In other words, the situation is dire. Fourthly, to address this situation, the Wellbeing Office has issued directives to coordinate the mobilization of Xian's grain reserves, and CangLin City has been granted permission to utilize its reserve granaries. Our grain reserves are ample enough to sustain us for more than 2 years, even without a harvest, so there is no need to panic. Last but not least, it is worth noting that all infected crops are still alive, and if we can promptly find a cure for the cerulean blight, we may still salvage a portion of the crops. Once again, I extend my sincere apologies to the people of CangLin City, particularly the farmers and producers. We remain steadfast in our commitment to identifying the source of the cerulean blight and discovering a cure.
The young man bows deeply. The broadcast concludes, and one after another, the holographic projections across the city fade away. Xing shifts her gaze, making it difficult to discern her mood. She gestures towards the direction where the projection was displayed.
Well, the lady you just saw is Shang.
That is Shang? Are members of Weishi allowed to appear in public media?
I'll explain later. Just follow me. I'll take you both back.
Alright, let's go. I'm going to meet her.
Follow me. The situation within the city hasn't been peaceful recently. I need to take you back to Weisha headquarters as soon as possible.
Alright, we go. There's this pool of water, looks eerie. It is as if a large amount of copper ions have diffused into the water, giving the river an unnatural greenish blue hue.
The color of the water.
Strange, right? It's like someone poured dye into it. The situation wasn't this bad a week ago. I wonder what those people going to Xingyu City did. But obviously, they haven't stopped the contamination.
Xingyu City?
Yeah, the origin of this anomaly is said to be Xingyu City. We're affected because we're downstream, and the contamination comes from the Grandeur River. Those animals destroyed the stumps again. Speak of the devil.
Fluttering wings.
The device is covered in bronze colored, seemingly left in by a sharp object. Okay.
Now is not the time to worry about these stumps. Let's keep pushing forward.
Shin lifts her foot and forcefully stomps on a stump that is stuck in the middle.
These animals are getting even tougher.
Complete insight.
More animals are invading the city than ever before.
Okay. Damn, bro.
Where are the patrols? Why do I have to clean up the trash just to get back? Phew, finally.
Coming into view is a doorway resembling an ink painting, gracefully ascending eaves of the roof resembling distant mountains depicted in artwork The beams and arches extend outward in a natural manner, reminiscent of the horizon at the edge of those far-off mountains. In contrast to the Tower of Babel's majestic grandeur, the entrance of Weishe exudes a more intimate aura, resembling a warm embrace rather than a condescending glance from above. The turpentine-like glow emanating from within seems to beckon visitors inside. However, the doorway, shrouded in a dark, verdant inkiness, does not reveal the specific intent behind the invitation. Is it scrutiny, curiosity, contemplation, or perhaps it is none of the above? Weishi. What exactly is the ancient secret organization Ancient like? One that has existed for thousands of years? After organizing my thoughts, I follow Xing to the entrance of this place or whatever. Secretary Xing. Upon stepping into the hall, my previous uneasy heart suddenly calms, like a ship moored in a windless harbor. The hall is adorned with pools on both sides, featuring lotus plants. Drops of water roll down the lotus leaves, creating ripples that slowly blend into the seemingly endless vapor of water. Vague bamboo shadows can be seen behind the elegant curtains and screens, exuding a classic flavor. Suspended in the air at the end of the corridor is a complex armillary sphere depicting an enigmatic representation of the stars. Beneath the stars stands an imposing figure dressed in a cerulean blue. We have seen this figure before through the hologram projection. The stress brought by the holographic figure pales in comparison to the stress of this real encounter. As the cerulean figure turns around and fixes her gaze on us, even Shin stops bouncing and stands aside silently with her arms wrapped around herself.
Welcome to CangLin City, representatives of Emeon. Although those words are somewhat hollow because, as you have witnessed, we are currently preoccupied. I apologize if there has been any lack of courtesy. I am Tsing, a member of Weishe and the Jurzing of the Bureau of Oversight and Integrity in this city. Currently, CangLin City, Weishe, and all of Xian are exerting their best efforts to address the food crisis caused by the cerulean blight. However, as a member of CAVE, we are obligated to assist Emeon. This obligation is especially significant with the personal arrival of the head librarian of the Library of Babel.
There seems to be a subtle change in the way Xing looks at me.
You appear travel-weary. You must have undergone challenges on the way. While Tan briefed me, I still have many questions. I understand that now is not the ideal time to ask unsettling questions. Nevertheless, these questions are necessary, because unsettling facts do not disappear simply because people ignore them. Such is my style, and the style of Weishe. Now, head librarian of Emeon and the Library of Babel. On behalf of Weishe, I request that Emeon explains what happened at the Tower of Babel, the headquarters of CAVE. What happened to Emeon? What resources and personnel do you have remaining? Does CAVE still maintain its minimal structure? Will our alliance continue to exist? There is no need for haste. I've allocated ample time exclusively for our meeting, ensuring that our conversation remains undisclosed to the surface world. Every corner of this place has been secured to maintain utmost privacy. Please, take your time and share the truth with me. In this critical moment, it is important that we maintain open and transparent communication.
Well, it's a long story, to be honest.
This is indeed surprising. Nemesis was behind the incident. What astonishes me even more is that the betrayer comes from Emeon itself. With all due respect, such a grave error should never have occurred within the most ancient organization. As the head librarian of Emeon, you bear the responsibility for this unfortunate event.
You think I'm responsible for this?
I understand that you have recently assumed the role of the head librarian. However, according to your account, you willingly entered the Tower of Babel.
What of it?
The Emeons presented you with an opportunity to turn back and return to a normal life, yet you chose to stay there. Therefore, you must assume the name Emeon, along with all the associated responsibilities. Weishe, along with all the members of CAVE, will not show leniency or grant you preferential treatment merely because you are a newcomer. Since you stand here, It is expected that you possess the qualifications and mindset required to engage with your allies. Otherwise, I regrettably foresee the impending dissolution of CAVE.
At some point, Zero silently approaches my side. Her gaze is foreboding, reminiscent of the calm before a storm. I stop her. Secretary Ching.
Huh?
With all due respect, while we were dealing with the anomaly, we managed to confine its impact within the library. On the other hand, it appears that you allowed it to spread among the general public. Would you consider this a commendable approach? Ching adjusts her glasses.
You certainly possess a sharp tongue.
We're both in the midst of this crisis. I believe that cooperation is the key to its resolution. Rather than blaming each other, we should unite as one. I believe that we both realize the urgency of the situation now. We must get to the bottom of the anomaly occurring in Xi'an. Only by doing so can we prevent a reoccurrence of Emian's faith. Xing's eyes remain concealed behind the reflection of her lenses. However, I sense a sudden shift in her demeanor. A sharpness that emanated from her dissipates. As she raises her gaze once more, a gentle smile graces her lips, and her expression softens considerably.
I'm now convinced that the new head librarian of Emion is truly deserving of this title. You possess the qualifications to engage in an equitable dialogue with Weixia.
You were testing me.
I apologize if I was too stern. But how can one rectify others if she herself is too afraid to confront the truth? We're your allies, and when it comes to Nemesis, we stand on the same side. Well, let's get back to business. Something seems amiss to me, and I suspect that Nemesis desires more than just an ancient son. Moreover, I believe Emion is not the only organization they will stop at nothing to eliminate. The timing of the attack on Emion and the sudden crisis in Xi'an can't be mere coincidence. There must be a connection. Well, I will need to provide a comprehensive report to Master Yuan Xuan later. For now, please be assured that Weixia is prepared to offer all the assistance it can to Emion. Since the Tower of Babel has been destroyed, I presume that you do not have a suitable place to stay. If you don't mind, please stay in this city for the time being, and I'll assist you in making the necessary arrangements at the government.
Thank you.
You're welcome. However, our primary focus remains on resolving the crisis in Xi'an, and other matters will have to wait until the crisis is lifted. It's regrettable that we can't fulfill our hosting duties while we have friends from afar. We eagerly anticipate your cooperation during your stay in CangLin City. This matter concerns all of Xi'an, and Weixia is currently stretched thin in terms of manpower. Help is always welcome.
We'll do whatever we can.
Thank you. By the way, there is one more thing. I understand this is an internal matter for Emion, and it may be inappropriate for me to inquire, but given the situation, could you tell me the whereabouts of Master Cosmos, the former head librarian of Emion?
I'd like to know the answer myself.
Well, that's to be expected. The leader of the knowledgeable always maintains an air of mystery. Speculating about the unknowable is futile. Let's focus on the matters at hand.
She turns her head and gazes out the window, observing the nearby streets and the distant fields, still adorned in lush greenery. Not a single trace of golden hues can be seen.
Autumn is approaching.
She mutters to herself.
The bountiful summer. When prolonged, it turns bitter.
I walk into the lounge arranged by Weixia. I relax my shoulders and exhale slowly, releasing the tension that has been holding me upright. That was nerve-wracking. Despite Xing's young age, her words cut like a knife. Her piercing stare sees everything, leaving no room for secret.
Did she scare you?
Well, not that much. She closes her eyes and speaks again, as if she has made up her mind about something.
Let's leave this place.
Leave? Huh?
I'll escort you out of here. You can become an ordinary person again, free from all these matters.
Hold on. For the first time, Zero interrupts me with unwavering determination.
Someone has tampered with your consciousness. They've twisted your mind, so you won't question why you ended up in the Tower of Babel, or why you became the head librarian of Emion. Those questions have become blind spots in your memory, and you won't resolve them. You didn't choose this responsibility on your own. I'll find a way to break you free from this hypnosis. Until then, you can decide whether to leave this world or not.
Is it because you don't like me?
Not at all. Moreover, it has nothing to do with my thoughts.
No, glad to hear that. I'm hereby rejecting your request. I catch a hint of uncertainty in her eyes. At that moment, I realize that I'm not the only one who has been feeling uneasy. Anyway, we are now bound together. I raise the pendant in my hand towards her. I am the head librarian of Emeon. Your task is to protect the Tower of Babel, and to protect its head librarian, which is me. Since the Library of Babel is gone, your only task now is to protect me. Zero looks at me in silence. After a long pause, she nods.
Understood.
Let's figure out a solution together. We'll find a way to rescue everyone stuck within the Library of Babel. Until then, Wei Shi, which has extended a helping hand to us, will be an invaluable ally. The Cerulean Blight. The next day, when we return to the hall, Xing is already waiting for us in the center of the room.
It seems you had a peaceful rest last night.
Thank you for your hospitality.
You're welcome. Actually, we could really use some assistance. I have some business to attend to at the government, and we're short-staffed. I was wondering if you could provide us with some help?
Tell me about it.
It's nothing too complicated. We've been conducting regular patrols in the city and checking on the citizens. I'd like you to join the patrols as well. Your unique perspective might offer valuable insights.
Is it really okay for us to do so? I was under the impression that those dealing with anomalies should remain hidden from mundane society. They should never be involved with the surface world or be known to the public. Ordinary people are not meant to be aware of anomalies of our existence. The CangLin municipal government is responsible for governing CangLin City, while Weishi is one of the secret organizations. However, Xing serves as both a director of the government and a member of Weishi. Also, Weishi members can interact with ordinary people, which was previously unknown to me.
I see. That's why you're confused. I should have clarified earlier. I am both a member of Weisha and the Zheng of the Bureau of Oversight and Integrity. I serve as a link between the government and Weisha, similar to how Jantan acts as a bridge between Emeon and Weisha. We're not like Emeons, who seclude themselves in their ivory tower, no longer involved with the surface world. Weisha was initially established to oversee and benefit all the people of Xi'an, and as such, we maintain a healthy connection with the surface world. The president of Xi'an is aware of our existence, and our leader, Master Yuexuen, has pledged to lend his wisdom to the president of Xi'an when necessary. Of course, the general population remains unaware of the anomaly's existence. Currently, Weisha presents itself as an official aid. Different lands have different people and customs. Just because we have formed an alliance doesn't mean we have to align our methods exactly. That should be obvious.
As soon as Xin departs, Xin appears with an unhappy expression.
Xing asked me to take you guys on patrol to help you understand the current situation in the city. She keeps assigning me all these errands, and now she wants me to babysit 2 newbies.
Newbies? Okay. Suddenly she throws something at me. Just as the object is about to hit my forehead, Zero catches it. It is a pier. Shin looks away and waves her hand.
Fill your belly before we hit the road. I don't want you passing out halfway there.
Okay.
Now the CangLin municipal government has banned residents from going outside. We've got to go from house to house to check on them. Let's go. We've got a lot of ground to cover today.
Okay, I guess we're going. Look at the door.
Excuse me, I'm from the municipal government. Can I help you with anything?
We're doing okay, but can you deliver rationed water faster? It's already 3 hours late, and we're getting less water than before.
I'll report the situation.
Rationed water?
Yeah, after the Grandeur River got contaminated, the water supply in CangLin City has been sourced from other regions. The CangLin municipal government distributes water to the entire city, but it seems like they can't even handle such a trivial task properly. I'll report the situation to Shang.
That's not good. Humanity needs water to survive. After all, we're made out of 70% water.
Forgive all sins. The fire is burning.
Looks like it's about to burst. Startled by the noise, the resident opened the door to peer and trying to figure out what's going on. Did you guys move the fortification at the door? Fortifications? Those boxes lately have been hearing animals howling. Those dangerous animals won't be able to get into my house. Huh? Did you ever think about what you'd do if a fire broke out? How would you escape? I totally forgot about that. Please, don't be mad. I promise I won't do it again. I haven't even thanked you for helping me clear things up. How about this? I'll give you some of my stockpile. Be careful with patrolling out there. Thank you. Knock knock.
Excuse me, I'm from the municipal government. Can I help you with anything?
Oh, is that Shin?
Huh? Oh yeah, it's me. How's Sister Young been doing lately?
Don't even get me started on that. She was admitted to the hospital last month, and guess what? The gynecologist said her labor was delayed. The doctor said it's delayed by a month. I've never heard anything like that. Thankfully, they didn't find any problems after running some checkups. I wonder if she has given birth to her baby. But we can't even visit her now.
I see. I'll ask the hospital about her situation.
Looks like you're on good terms.
Yeah, a few months ago, their oldest daughter fell while crossing the street, and I carried her to the hospital. What? Why are you giving me that look? Is it so strange that I would do something like that?
I mean, you're an airhead. I guess but you're not a bad person.
Forgive all sins.
Huh? Why are the oxen invading the city?
The fire is burning.
Something?
What? Oh my god, my ears. What's going on? Are these oxen going crazy or something?
Oh, it's just some farm animals that wandered into the city. I've already taken care of it, so no need to worry. No big deal. Everyone disperse. Go home and stay safe.
Okay, I guess we'll help them. Are we missing anything? Hopefully not. Okay, moving on.
The water contamination has gotten worse since the green plague started. Now it feels like this entire city's turning moldy.
Yeah, I can see that. Everything's crystallizing. Knock knock.
Excuse me, I'm from the municipal government. Can I help you with anything?
Everything is okay here. It's just lately we've started hearing strange noises in the middle of the night.
What kind of noises?
Oxen mooing, birds chirping. I think I even heard a bear roaring last night.
A bear? We don't have mountains in the fertile plains, so there shouldn't be any bears around here. You must have misheard. Besides, do you even know what a bear's roar sounds like?
Huh? Why are you being so harsh, young lady? I mean, I've never actually seen one, but I've watched nature documentaries.
Yeah, alright. Okay. 2 out of 2. Let's go. Let's get these over with. Knock, knock.
Excuse me. I'm from the municipal government.
How much longer are you gonna keep us cooped up at home? Will you hold the Harvest Festival or not?
She grips the spear in her hand tightly. Calm down. Just as I finish speaking, we hear a rumbling noise from the distance.
Forgive all sins.
Alright.
Still want to go out now?
Well, just stay home and be safe.
But what about the Harvest Festival? My kids have been looking forward to it since last month.
What the hell, bro? Really thinking about festival in this situation?
Sister, will we have the Harvest Festival as scheduled?
Don't worry, the festival will be fine.
Bruh.
Are you from the government? Please help me!
These people are only thinking about the fucking festival.
Hold
Selfish
on. Why are you
desires.
outside? Don't you know what's happened? It's strictly forbidden to leave without permission.
I'm sorry, but I was so worried. My father accidentally broke his leg while working on the farm and now he's in the hospital. I can't visit him because the government won't allow us to leave. Could you please check on him for me?
All right, just tell us your father's name. And go back home. Stay inside.
Alright, let's go. Is this the hospital? I'd assume yes. Hospital.
Didn't expect so many people in the hospital.
Yeah, that's one too many people, alright. As soon as we step into the hospital, we are taken aback by the crowd inside. People are scattered all around, and even the aisles are filled with patients awaiting treatment. Nevertheless, the nurses manage to maintain order despite the overwhelming situation.
I'll go find a nurse and ask what's going on.
Without waiting for a response, she plunges into the crowd. Zero and I exchange glances, speechless. Because the counter right next to us bears 2 prominent words. Information desk. Could it be that?
Scene can't read the writing, it seems.
With the help of a nurse, we quickly find a doctor who is taking a break. As it turns out, the doctor is a gynecologist. Okay. Just as we enter the consultation room, a pregnant woman rises from her seat. Zero suddenly realizes something and walks up to her.
Is your surname Xiang?
Oh, yes. Have we met before?
It is then that I notice a pregnant woman named embroidered on her hospital gown. We're friends of Shane.
Oh, wow. How amazing. You're her friends. Shin has been a total lifesaver for our family. I've been wanting to properly thank her.
She gently puts her hand on her belly, sporting the sweetest smile.
If it weren't for her, my little one might have... Oh, I see you have important stuff to do. I'll leave you be for now.
How can I help you?
Oh, we're not patients. We're here on behalf of the Bureau of Oversight and Integrity. We'd like to learn about the situation here. Has anything unusual happened today?
Well, let me put it this way. The most unusual thing is the sudden influx of patients.
What symptoms are those patients exhibiting?
Loss of appetite and slowed metabolism, neurological reflexes and movements. We're still searching for a cure.
How many deaths have occurred so far?
Doctor's expression became grave.
As of now, there have been no deaths.
But isn't that a good... you don't seem relieved at all.
I'm not talking about the people infected by the Cerulean Blight. I'm talking about the entire CangLin city. Considering the population here, there should be 300 to 400 natural deaths happening every day. However, ever since the Cerulean Blight spread, funeral parlors haven't received a single corpse. Not a single one.
People aren't dying.
Not only that, our obstetrics and gynecology department hasn't welcomed a single newborn since then. It's as if the cycle of life and death here has been put on pause.
Wait, what? Wow, is time stagnant here? That sounds similar to the contaminated crops.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I'm not an agriculture expert after all.
By the way, we are here to visit the patient.
What's the patient's name?
Tell him the patient's name.
Let me check the records. Oh, it's here. I'm sorry, but he's infected with cerulean blight and can't have visitors now. I remember him. He broke his leg while working on the farm, right?
Yeah, why does he need such a long treatment period for a simple leg injury?
His injury is anything but simple. In fact, after contracting the cerulean blight, his leg muscles and bones underwent a significant increase in hardness and density. Our standard surgical instruments are ineffective in treating it, so we had to keep him hospitalized for observation. If it weren't for the bone misalignment hindering the healing process, the effects of the cerulean blight could even be considered beneficial. Now, with the increased bone hardness, he can safely jump from a tree 4 or 5 meters tall, without sustaining any injuries.
What?
No one experiences birth or death. All injuries and illnesses remain frozen at the moment of cerulean blight infection, without worsening or improving naturally. Seriously, what's going on here? How are we supposed to host the Harvest Festival with everything like this? If only the first Emperor could be reincarnated and solve this problem.
The first Emperor?
Yes, Jixia, the first Emperor, the revered ancestor of agriculture among the Jian people. There are numerous legends surrounding him. However, now might not be the most suitable time to talk about legends. If you're interested, head to the central square, where his statue is enshrined.
Shall we go check the central square?
Sure. But where is Shin? We lost track of her a while ago, and we have not been able to find her. With all the people in the hospital, it may take a while to locate her. Let's just go there and come back quickly.
Understood.
Having made up our minds, we head back in the direction we came from. Not paying much attention to the road ahead, I accidentally bump into someone at the corner.
Be careful.
The man I bump into stands his ground and prevents me from falling.
Are you alright? Wait, you are?
I focus my eyes and realize it is someone I recognize. Who is she?
Oh, it's you. I'm sorry, but I didn't find your friend that night. When I went back at dawn, Mr. Nong said you had already left. But now it seems you found your friend. Good to know that you're safe and sound. By the way, what brings you here to the hospital? Did someone get injured?
We just came to take a look.
The hospital isn't really a good place for sightseeing. You've heard their announcement, right? The cerulean blight is spreading, and the Bureau of Health and Welfare hasn't figured out how it spreads. You really should avoid going to crowded places like a hospital.
What about you? Obviously, he had not expected to be asked in return. He pauses before answering.
No, it's my sister. She's weak and hasn't been receiving treatment in the hospital, and I've come to visit her.
At that point, he seems unwilling to continue the conversation. He shakes his head and prepares to leave.
If there's nothing else, I'll take my leave for now.
Brother and sister. The hospital room is quiet and harbors the faint scent of pears. The occupant of the room is sitting in a wheelchair, leaning against the window and dozing off, unaware of the visitor's presence. Wuxi follows the scent and spots fresh pears on the bedside table, still glistening with water droplets. He approaches the table gently, picks up a pear, inspects it briefly, and begins to peel it with a fruit knife. When the pear is nearly peeled, the girl in the wheelchair slowly opens her eyes.
Is that you, brother?
She yawns and sits up in the wheelchair.
You seem happy. Did something good happen?
Wuxi places a toothpick on a slice of pear and offers it to Tiaohua.
Yeah, I ran into a friend today, and she gave me these pears.
A friend?
Tiaohua's eyes light up.
Yeah, it's the girl I've been telling you about. Turns out she's living here in CangLin City too. Can you believe it? I never thought I'd get a chance to see her again. If it weren't for her taking care of me back then, I wouldn't have made it to see you again, brother. I've always wanted to properly thank her.
So, did you thank her properly this time?
Yeah, we had a long chat. She's doing great now, and she told me she's got an awesome job. I believe her because she had this warm glow in her eyes. She must have found herself a fantastic place, but she seemed busy with something important and had to leave. I wish I could have spent more time with her and introduced her to you.
Don't worry. We'll meet her again someday.
You know what, brother? I used to think the world was huge, and there were so many things I hadn't experienced. But suddenly, it feels like the world is small. And the things I let slip away will somehow find their way back to me. I have no regrets now.
How do you like the pair?
Tiahua turns her head away in response.
Well, if there's anything to worry about, it's probably you, brother. You've been following Master. Is everything going well? Lately, your gaze has been unsettling, and I'm really concerned. Don't force yourself to do things you don't want to. Master has a kind heart, and I'm sure he won't hold it against you.
My decision has nothing to do with Master. He respects my choice.
You're of the same type, always carrying the weight of the world. I'm scared, brother.
Suddenly the girl gasps violently.
Brother.
Wuxi pours water from the kettle he brought into a cup and holds it to the girl's lips. He pats her back while she sips. With the last drop of water gone, he wipes the droplets from the corners of Tiahua's mouth and gently lays her back on the bed. As he straightens up, Tiahua tugs at his clothes.
Don't do anything risky or hurt yourself. Just seeing you again makes me so happy. Promise me you'll take care of yourself. Promise me.
All right. I promise you.
Soon after drinking the water, the weak girl grows tired and drifts into a deep sleep. Wuxi tucks the blanket around her and steps out of the room. As he steps out of the room, his normally upright posture slumps.
How's Tiahua been lately? Not looking good. Despite all the treatment over the years, her condition hasn't improved even a bit.
Master, please help me.
While her condition isn't uncommon, there's no known cure for it. Not even I can change her fate.
Wuxi remains in a kneeling posture. Sower lets out a soft sigh.
Well, take this water and give it to her.
Thank you, Master.
Is there anything else?
Yes, there's something else I need to report to you, Master.
Please, go ahead.
As you predicted, the survivors from Emeon have arrived in Xi'an, including their leader and a young woman. I seek your guidance on how to deal with them.
So, those pieces are still in play. Nemesis didn't get their job done, it seems. To think that Magnifico made such a magnificent promise. Well, there's no use in complaining now. I hold no animosity towards Emeon. In fact, I have a certain fondness for them. After all, I am a scholar myself, and was once devoted to the pursuit of knowledge. However, those pieces belong neither to us nor to Weisha.
I don't quite understand, Master.
We're playing a game of Go, and suddenly, chess, king, and queen pieces appear on the board. What do you think we should do?
Get them on your side? I don't think that will
Naturally, we
happen.
should pause the game and remove the pieces that don't belong to our game.
This is what must be done. It is not their fault. They simply appeared in the wrong place at the wrong time. And it is not our fault either. I cannot afford to underestimate Weisha. Remove them from the board. As for the method, I leave it to your discretion. But ensure it's done swiftly.
As you wish, Master.
Is something else troubling you? You seem concerned. Worried about your sister, perhaps?
Exactly, Master.
Rest assured, Tiahua will be fine. If I can fulfill my long-held wish, then not only Tiahua, but all the people of Shen will be relieved from their suffering. I know I'm far from perfect, but I can confidently say that I have fulfilled most of my promises, except for those beyond my capabilities.
Your promises are never empty, Master. Now, please allow me to take my leave.
I guess we're about to fight Wuxi. Wuxi stands up, his eyes devoid of any hesitation. As he watches the path the two have taken, he has made up his mind. Nongsung Pavilion. The vapor descends once again as Zero and I leave from the hospital. Although it is still early in the afternoon, the sun remains concealed behind thick clouds, enshrouding the entire city.
Who was that man we just met earlier?
Oh, he's the person I met on that night. I recount the events of that night to Zero.
I see.
You look a bit worried.
It's nothing. I just hope that you'll always stay within my sight in the future. I can't foresee what may happen to you outside of my sight.
I won't leave your sight again.
Let's go back before it gets dark. I forgot to ask where the central square is.
Oh, there's something we haven't done yet. The initial reason for coming to the hospital was merely to ask about the resident's father's condition. No one expected so many things to happen.
Let's start by updating her on her father's condition.
Okay. Nothing here. Keep going.
Ah, it's you! Did you go to the hospital? Have you seen my father?
No, but I passed on the information I learned at the hospital.
Really? It's good to know he's safe.
Have you been waiting here all this time?
No, I did go back home. But then I heard a loud noise outside, so I couldn't help but come out again to see what was happening.
A loud noise?
It sounded like the howling of a wild beast. Not like those oxen that wandered into the city, but more like a bear, or a tiger, or some other wild animal.
A bear again? All the more reason you shouldn't have come out.
I'm heading home now.
Please wait a moment. Where is the central square?
Huh? Weren't you set by the government? How come you don't know that?
We're contract staff.
All right. You're talking about the square in front of Nongsang Pavilion, right? It's actually called the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture Square. Nongsang Pavilion is actually the office building of the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture. When the city was constructed, all the urban areas were centered around the pavilion, and the square is part of the office complex. But then more and more tourists started coming there, probably because it's a popular spot for taking photos. Somehow the square became recognized as the center of CangLin City, hence the name Central Square.
Bureau of Husbandry and Architecture.
Oh, you're wondering why the urban areas were centered around the Bureau? Well, you can actually figure that out from the name CangLin, which means well-stocked larders. What good is a larder without food? So, naturally, the top priority here is the development of agriculture, forestry, livestock, and fisheries. After all, hunger is the root of all problems. By the way, while the square is open to the public, Nongsang Pavilion is off-limits to outsiders, so it's best not to approach it without authorization. That place houses the main server network of the centralized agricultural system of the city. The server network controls all the sprinkling, sowing, harvesting, and crop care systems within the city, and fertile plains. The security measures are as strict as those in a military area. Stay away from that place, and you won't get in trouble.
That's fair.
Complete insight. Weird. The stumps were intact when we passed by earlier.
Should protect the environment.
Fluttering wing. Fall.
After dealing with the mosquitoes, I finally realized what had caught my attention earlier, a damaged lockbox, from which the mosquito has been swarming out. There could be something useful inside. Try cracking it open. Alright. Going.
The fog is getting thicker. Stay close. Don't get separated. Fall. Fall.
The area ahead is covered in an even denser fog. Stay sharp. A fluffy ball emerges from under Zero's cloak. This is weird. This is weird. I've had the feeling that something was off since before. It's like those animals are targeting us. Can you communicate with those animals? Hey, how rude. Do you really think those unenlightened, lowly creatures are capable of communicating with me? You're both avian creatures. I'll pick you to death. Anyway, be careful. I have a bad feeling about this. All right, let's go.
Watch out. Stay behind me. Ansu. End it all. Let's find a place to hide for a while. The Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture shouldn't be far ahead.
Huh? Is that statue?
Ancestor of Argit. Oh my god. I can't even. Damn, bro. Architecture. I don't know, man. You saw it. By the time we reach our destination, the vapor has significantly dissipated. In the center of the square stands a statue with solemn and dignified expression facing the river. Judging by the attire depicted on the statue, it likely represents a significant figure from ancient Qian. Its placement in the square suggests its importance. However, I'm unaware of the person it commemorates. What may be common knowledge to others often eludes me. How long will this situation continue? Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed someone else gazing on that statue. Amidst this world of unfamiliar faces, I sense a faint familiarity in his. Oh yes, he is the man who appeared in the live broadcast I watched upon entering the city. I believe he is CangLin, the director of the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture. Goddamn, I finally was able to say it. Sensing my gaze, the young man turns his head and our eyes met. Is he the one with the Nemesis? An expression of surprise flits across his face.
Are you travelers from a distant land?
How did you figure that out?
As I thought. The young lady over there is recognizable by her clothes.
Are you Director Feng of the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture?
Indeed. You must have seen me through the holographic projection, I believe. Normally, the Bureau of Culture and Tourism would be welcoming visitors. With the upcoming Harvest Festival next month, it would have been an ideal time for a warm welcome. However, due to the current situation, all publicity efforts have been suspended. I apologize for the unfortunate news I bring and any inconvenience caused. I assume you haven't had the chance to explore the city yet. While I may not be as knowledgeable as my colleagues in the Bureau of Culture and Tourism, I'm willing to provide you with any information that might interest you.
I do have a question, actually.
Oh, please, go ahead.
Who's the man depicted in this statue?
Ah, that's Xixia, the first emperor of Xian. According to historical records, he unified the entire region of Xian. However, after the unification, he left the capital and embarked on a journey across the world. Legend has it that during his travels, he personally tested various herbs and educated his people about edible plants, medicinal herbs, and poisonous flora. He also introduced agricultural tools and techniques for cultivating fields and crops. As a result, the people of Xian revered him as the ancestor of agriculture. Moreover, the rituals honoring Xixia are a vital part of the festival.
Sounds like he was an extraordinary emperor. CangLin pauses for a moment, then burst out into laughter.
But that all happened thousands of years ago. Who can say for sure if the historical records are accurate or not? Perhaps he was simply an irresponsible conqueror who grew tired of ruling and decided to disappear for a while. Maybe the notion of him traveling the world was just an excuse to escape. As for all those achievements attributed to him, it's likely the result of later generations crediting him for the accomplishments of others. If Jisha were to know that he has become such a revered figure after thousands of years, he might burst into laughter.
So he was both an emperor and the god of agriculture?
God? No, that's far from the truth. The beliefs in Shen differ significantly from those in Japheth, Cyril, Obed, or any other civilization in the world. While other civilizations engage in rituals for the afterlife, we focus on our present life. While other civilizations worship ethereal gods, we venerate our ancestors. If there's anything truly noteworthy about Jisha, it is that he established what later became known as the nation. The distinction between the ancestor of agriculture and the god of agriculture is profound. The difference between a god providing a bountiful harvest and a mortal cultivating the land is substantial. Humans have their fate in their own hands. So if one has to pay homage to someone, why don't they revere themselves? And if one seeks guidance from someone, why don't they look within themselves? In other civilizations, concepts like the end of the world, the last judgment, or something similar exist, with gods positioned at the culmination of everything. However, Jisha is not a god. He represents the origin of countless generations, a starting point, and nothing more. We don't believe in gods or saints. We believe in ourselves and our ability to shape our own destiny.
Thank you for shedding light on this matter.
But to be honest, I wish Jisha could wield some divine power and resolve the problem immediately. Just kidding. It's up to us to tackle the challenges ourselves. By the way, do you know that the Harvest Festival will be held earlier? When I left the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture, I had a feeling that I was forgetting something. Now I remember, I haven't shared the news yet. I made the decision fairly recently. Considering the current unrest in CangLin City, the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture decided to advance this year's Harvest Festival. This time, the festival won't be a celebration of a bountiful harvest, but rather an opportunity to pray for one and uplift everyone's spirits. We hope this festival will make foreign visitors feel welcome and at home.
We'll definitely enjoy it.
That would be fantastic. I've been to Obed before. Well, that was quite some time ago. People there were so kind to me, and I've always wanted to repay their hospitality. And now, meeting you here feels like that line from the poet. A familiar visage in unfamiliar space, a long-awaited rain amidst drought's embrace. Well, not entirely accurate, since Xian isn't exactly unfamiliar to me. Anyway, I genuinely hope that Xian will leave you with unforgettable memories, just as Obed left a lasting impression on me.
CangLin looks at the receding figures and then turns its attention to the solemn statue of Jisha.
A familiar visage in unfamiliar space. But in the midst of this prolonged drought, will the long-awaited rain ever arrive?
Both ammunition and sunscreen are ready.
As I leave the square, the sun begins to set. The vapor silently envelops our surroundings.
Maybe we should return to the square and wait for the vapor to clear.
Wait, Zero! As the vapor thickens, the growls of the beast grows closer.
Everything is okay here. It's just lately we've started hearing strange noises in the middle of the night.
What kind of noises?
Oxen mooing, birds chirping. I think I even heard a bear roaring last night.
It sounded like the howling of a wild beast. Not like those oxen that wandered into the city, but more like a bear, or a tiger, or some other wild animal.
Seriously? A bear has broken into the city? Whoa! That is a wolf! That is no bear, brother. Emerging from the vapor, a towering silhouette draws near. Whoa! Just as it is about to step out of the vapor, a long spear descends from the sky like a thunderbolt, landing between us and the colossal creature. The spear pierces the ground, vibrating slightly shortly after its owner descends from the sky and grips it firmly.
finally found you! I can't believe you ended up here and got yourself into such trouble!
Oh boy, that's huge. Her vibrant, fiery ponytail gracefully arcs through the air. Without turning around, she excitedly clutches her spear, aiming it at the fully revealed giant bear. That's a bear? That looks like a wolf to me, though.
Finally, things are starting to get interesting.
For a moment, it is hard to tell who resembles a beast more, the bear or the girl.
Let the fight begin! A bear duel between two hunters.
Let's go.
It's up to you, Stockholm. Full of flaws. Don't even think about escaping. Don't even think about escaping.
Probably does a lot of damage. That's why it's slow, I'd assume. Yeah.
Forgive all sins. The fire is burning.
Focus. They should really have a focus thing. Come back here.
It's up to you, Stockholm.
Oh, but bro, I can't see shit. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, I can't focus like this, bro. The camera is really. Oh my god, bro. I have to hold the mouse. You don't know how horrible this is. I have to fucking hold the mouse for it to work. Yeah, it does a lot of damage, right?
Forgive all sins. The fire is burning.
I can't dodge like this.
Blooming from the flames.
My hand hurts. I probably should cheat.
In the name of Florence.
Full of flaws. Don't even think about escaping. A spark of inspiration.
Okay, the giant bear's body is almost entirely covered in bronze, and Shin's strikes barely leave scratches on it. The battle between Shin and the bear reaches a stalemate. The bear's sharp claws fail to strike the swift Shin, and Shin's spear is unable to penetrate the bear's tough hide. Perhaps I should take this opportunity to call for reinforcements. As that thought crossed my mind, a chilling sense of dread crawls up my spine, as if I am being watched by a snake while walking through grass. Instinctively, I turn around only to find a black dagger flying towards me. Reflexively, I close my eyes and shield myself with my hands, trying to protect my vital areas. The sound of metal clashing and flesh being pierced occurs simultaneously, but the expected pain never follows. When I open my eyes, I see the familiar figure once again. Zero. Without turning around, Zero pulls out a dagger embedded in her shoulder and thighs, casually tossing them on the ground near the ones she knocked down earlier. Oh boy, let me screenshot this. It is at that moment that I realized there were actually several daggers aimed at me. Each dagger was precisely targeted, and I was moments away from meeting my demise. Sensing the unusual sound behind her, Shin momentarily freezes.
Hey, what's happening on your side?
Just then, the giant bear's massive palm descends, forcing Shin to defend herself by holding her lance over her head to withstand the blow. Zero glances in the direction from which the daggers were shot, her voice so cold that the temperature around us seems to drop sharply.
Show yourself.
Vaguely, I catch a glimpse of a figure amidst the dense vapor. A strong sense of déjà vu arises. I feel like I've witnessed a similar scene somewhere, sometimes before. A definitive answer forms. A long, piercing whistle interrupts my thoughts.
Huh? What the heck?
As if receiving a command, the giant bear releases chin and turns around, retreating from the scene. And that mysterious figure, too, gradually dissipates into the vapor. Zero does not chase after the figure. Only after the figure has completely vanished does she, who had been standing in front of me like an unwavering guardian, feebly collapse to her knees. Take us back! Hurry! I hold Zero in my arms and tug at Shin, who is about to chase after the figure. Not now. Not now. The Eternal Summer.
Report is over. That's what happened.
Things are getting more complicated. Considering everything, it's highly probable that the incidents in CangLin City and Fertile Plains were orchestrated by someone behind the scenes. And most likely, the culprit now sees you as an unexpected threat that must be eliminated.
I didn't mess with anyone.
Indeed. It's puzzling why the culprit is targeting the head librarian of Emeon rather than Weisha, who holds greater influence and power. However, we can only hope to find answers directly from the culprit themselves, and the various troubles that keep arising are becoming increasingly burdensome.
Did new problems arise?
The Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture has unexpectedly proposed advancing the Harvest Festival to appease the populace. While I understand their reasoning, it's not wise to hold the festival at a time like this, particularly with the escalating influence of the anomaly. However, given the growing unrest among people, advancing the festival may alleviate the situation. Therefore, we have submitted the proposal to hold the Harvest Festival earlier today. You don't seem surprised at all.
Yeah, it's a long story.
I see. So you've run into Director Feng himself. The proposal was passed mostly because it was proposed by Director Feng himself. The Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture is actually the most crucial division of the government. CangLin is indeed exceptional to have become the director at such a young age. Among all my colleagues, he's one of the most pragmatic and capable directors. He never drags his feet, never lets his personal emotions cloud his judgment, and is easygoing in his everyday life, forging good relations with almost all departments. While he's principled in important matters, he has never offended anyone because of insisting on his own views. In fact, those who initially opposed him were eventually convinced by him in the end, or even joined his side. Despite his young age, he is unexpectedly rich in experience, almost as if he has spent decades in the government. Moreover, he is well versed with the actual production. As far as I can remember, he's never made any mistakes due to impractical ideas. Since it is he who made this proposal, I don't think anything will go awry. You seem to have something else to ask, perhaps?
He mentioned Jixia.
Oh, you want to know why Jixia left the capital after unifying Xi'an? To be honest, this is one of the unsolved mysteries in Xi'an's history. There are a lot of historians, folklorists, and archaeologists who have researched this topic, and there are many different opinions. The legend Director Feng told you is the most mainstream theory, that the first emperor wandered around Xi'an after he had unified the world, testing various herbs and imparting the essence of agriculture. However, there is also a less popular version that says the first emperor actually traveled around to seek immortality. According to some unofficial records, the first emperor left the capital because he wanted to continue his rule for eternity. The so-called testing various herbs was just a byproduct of his search for the elixir of immortality. As for imparting the essence of agriculture, it was because by teaching the people to farm, he no longer needed to search for food himself, but would accept the people's offerings wherever he went. In that case, he was actually interested in satisfying his own selfish desires, and his people, hidden from the truth, interpreted his actions as grace and worshipped him.
That's a far cry from the mainstream theory.
No need to be surprised. It was thousands of years ago after all, and it's normal for various theories to differ from one another. No one alive has ever seen Jixia with their own eyes, so whether he was an exceptional or tyrannical emperor, we shouldn't be surprised. Or perhaps the actual truth doesn't align with any of those theories that have been passed down so far. Speaking of which, Weisha was established at Jixia's era, and we have preserved a huge amount of historical records from that era. However, we have a peculiar rule that all records about Jixia himself are highly classified, and only Master Yuan Xuan is permitted to access them. The reason behind this rule remains a mystery, but unfortunately, Master Yuan Xuan is not here.
Where is he gone?
Master Yuan Xuan went to Xingyu City before you arrived in CangLin City.
Xingyu City? I vaguely recall hearing that name from Jantan.
Xingyu City is situated on Mount Tianchue in the upper reaches of the Grandeur River, where it converges with the immense mountain. Actually, Xingyu City is the origin of this anomaly, and CangLin City is only affected because it's located downstream along the Grandeur River. Coincidentally, Xingyu City is also the place where the first emperor established the first capital of Xi'an. It served as the cradle of Xi'an's civilization. Countless bronze artifacts have been unearthed there, most of which are rare treasures of exquisite craftsmanship. Many of those artifacts are so remarkable that it's hard to imagine they were created thousands of years ago.
Perhaps they are miracles bestowed by gods.
An intriguing thought, but unfortunately, Wei Shi doesn't believe in gods. Why seek answers from deities when we haven't actually understood the world around us? One day, humans will be able to understand the world on their own.
CangLin once said something similar.
Oh? That's hardly surprising. If I had it confirmed multiple times that he's indeed just an ordinary person, I would have recruited him into Wei Shi.
Zero, who has remained silent all this while, suddenly speaks up. Zero's wounds have been attended to by the medical staff. She was terribly wounded during the ambush, but she insisted on staying by my side, seemingly impervious to pain. It feels as if she never needs to rest as long as her physiology is functioning.
Bronze. Immortality. Eternal life. Xixia.
Zero and I exchanged a glance at that moment. We both gained insight from each other's eyes. Gradually, an invisible web interweaves between those keywords. Secretary Cheng, perhaps we were wrong from the beginning.
What do you mean?
I mean, why would we define this infection as a disease? I cover my head as a crazy idea slowly takes shape in my mind. One by one, the information provided by everyone along the way starts replaying in my mind.
However, ever since the cerulean blight spread, funeral parlors haven't received a single corpse. Not a single one. Not only that, our obstetrics and gynecology department hasn't welcomed a single newborn since then. It's as if the cycle of life and death here has been put on pause.
However, there's also a less popular version that says the first emperor actually traveled around to seek immortality. The so-called testing various herbs was just a byproduct of his search for the elixir of immortality.
Finally, all the pieces of information interconnect, forming a comprehensive tapestry. Perhaps this is not a disease at all. At that moment, a Wei Shi member hurriedly approaches.
King, sorry for interrupting.
What is it?
The Delphic Oracle has just sent us their water analysis results.
Okay, finally.
The Academy's medical department conducted physiological experiments on the water samples and discovered that contaminated cells cease to divide anymore. Moreover, their original carbon-based structure rapidly transformed into an unknown compound. They are now conducting further analysis, but it seems that the new compound is a polymer formed from an unidentified element combined with metal elements. Simply put, the cells contaminated by the water transform from carbon-based life to a form of life with metallic properties.
Oh, shoot.
It appears that the transformed cells won't reproduce or evolve on their own. They will remain fixed in their current state, as long as there is no negative external interference, possessing an almost unlimited lifespan. They concluded that the new life form lacks the potential for iterative growth and evolution, but possesses an almost eternal lifespan.
Elixir of immortality. The hall falls silent in an instant. Taking a deep breath, I slowly add the words I have not finished. It's not a disease. It's immortality. It is not a disease. It is immortality. With eternal life, there is no need for reproduction. Crops won't bear fruits, humans won't give birth to babies, and animals won't lay eggs or bear offsprings. There is no death or new birth, such as the eternal fruitless summer. Damn. Damn, that was so good. Oh my god, that was awesome. And in the end, it was not the disease. It was infinite life, immortality. Damn, dude, that was awesome. That was so good. Wow. This game is getting better and better. Oh my god. Anyway, guys, I don't know. I have to check if I'm going to continue or not because let's see. I still don't understand where the dailies at. I was continuing the story until I get the dailies, and then after that I was thinking of leveling up my characters to like 80 or 90 and then continuing the story all the way through, because I know right now it's gonna be stagnant. But other than that, yeah, I will have to keep playing by myself. So anyway guys, if you like, share, subscribe. 3 hours plus, oh my god. If you like, share, subscribe, you know the rest, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye bye.